live on YouTube, so please call in all your YouTube friends. And please remember to subscribe to both our YouTube and Facebook pages at The One Mic Show. Now follow us also on Instagram and on TikTok. We're also taking in live calls tonight. The number to call is 202-683-4570. Press *5 to speak. Save that number. Now, across the past 2 decades, across the past 2 episodes, rather, not 2 decades, my goodness.
Boss.
Across the past 2 episodes, we clearly struck a nerve and forced a deeper reflection for many diasporans. After spending 2025 in Kenya, Ruth Kilungu helped us unpack what truly happens when you move back home. But we realized something. The biggest lessons are never said out loud. We assume going back is natural, but it's actually a second immigration. So tonight we expose the gap between what we thought and how Kenya really works, plus your YouTube reactions and who struggles the most to transition, and a quick touch on IEBC and Diaspora Voting, so we want you to stay tuned for that. We also want you to start dropping your comments below and let us know where you're tuned in from, what city, what state, and what country. Na bila kusahau, napokea mziki toka DJ wetu machachari mleta habari DJ Omosh Fire, na tutadunda kule viwanjani Mika Och jezi yake nambari 7 mgongoni akituletea habari za michezo moja kwa moja toka Kilimanjaro Studios. Ni mimi mtangazaji na mwanahabari wako mpendwa Ali Badawi. Kwetu bado wananiita mteule na wengine mniite mjukuu wa Masai, because I'm Kenyan by blood, American by design, Masai by choice. Sichagui, sikagui na sibagui. Karibuni.
Now, let's talk politics.
Now, across the past 2 episodes, we struck a nerve and forced deeper reflection for many diasporans. Ruth Kilungu helped us unpack what really happens when you move back home. But tonight, we want to expose the gap between expectation and reality, plus also go over some of your YouTube reaction and try to find out who struggles the most in transitioning to Kenya. Please drop a comment below and tell us what city, what country, what state you're tuned in. And I can see hapa Stephen JJ all the way from Texas, anasema to Kondani. Thank you so much for tuning in, Stephen JJ.
Kondani kama sim card.
Yes, we're also live on YouTube, so feel free to share, like our YouTube link for those people who are not on Facebook. And we want to hear your comments tonight. Those who watched the past 2 episodes, whether you watched it live or whether you watched it after,
yes.
Please let us know what your perceptions were, where the gap was, what you thought versus what you now know based on tuning into those 2 episodes. Again, 202-683-4570, press *5 to speak. Now, across the past 2 episodes, we clearly struck a nerve and forced a deeper reflection for many diasporans. After spending 2025 in Kenya, our guest Ruth Kilungu broke down what really happens when diaspora Kenyans move back home. But after those 2 episodes, we realized something. The biggest lessons are rarely said out loud. We assumed going back is natural, but discovered it's actually like a second immigration. So tonight, we're exposing the gap between what we thought and how Kenya actually works. We'll also review YouTube comments and highlight where the audience felt we didn't go far enough. And the big question tonight is, what type of diasporans are least likely to successfully transition back to living in Kenya? You can start typing in the comment section and let us know what you think. So whether you were caught up in the past 2 episodes or you're just joining us now, want you to settle in and let us know where you're tuned in from, because this is where the conversation gets even more real. And I can see Victor Ouma is tuned in from Toronto, Canada. So Victor, karibu sana from Toronto, Canada. Let us know what's going on in Toronto, and whether you have people in Canada who moved back to Kenya, what they're saying about moving back to Kenya. Please tap in the comment section and let me know. And without much further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I can also see Tony Chira is also tuned in all the way from Seattle. Seattle is becoming the new stronghold.
Seattle,
Washington. It's becoming the new stronghold.
Yeah.
And
don't say it loudly.
Yes, later on in the show, we're going to be talking about IEBC. And we're going to find out how many people are going to register more. There's a lot of controversy happening with IEBC and Diaspora Voting. Stay tuned for that. We're going to talk about that later on. Without much further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome my regular panel, DJ Omosh Fire and Uno Mike right here in studio.
Yes, sir.
Mika is out on Good Friday, so happy Good Friday, Mika Och. And then we're gonna do just a general recap. It's not really a recap, it's just reflections after the episode. So we really want to hear from the audience, and we want people to call in 202-683-4570, press star 5 to speak, to give us their reactions based on the past 2 episodes, based on the comments you read, based on what you thought you knew, and now you're seeing things differently. Now, of course, after 2 episodes on the blind spots Kenyan diasporans have regarding moving to Kenya, we also realized something very profound. And one of the things that we realized that was so profound is that the riskiest thing is not actually moving back. So what we want to find out tonight is from what we've learned, what is actually the riskiest thing when it comes to moving back. And I'm going to start with DJ Omosh Fire. So DJ Omosh Fire, based on the past 2 episodes, over 6 hours of conversation, over 300 comments, what did you learn as being the riskiest thing about moving back? Because the actual moving back part, to me personally, was the riskiest thing. But after those 2 episodes, I did not see it that way. But let me start first with you, Omosh, and let us know, what you feel after those 2 episodes.
Asante Ali. Thanks to our audience. Welcome to the show. And this is another week. I don't know if this is officially beginning of summer, but ni kama kuna kahit, then I don't know. I don't know.
Boss,
but
watch that one. This weather is just...
hey,
don't.
Heat, cold, in between, fungua mlango, funga dirisha,
Mvua nini, all
and
that.
meanwhile, diaspora. So, Ali, to answer you, planning, and if you didn't plan, have a plan A, B, C, and a plan D, and maybe you have an exit E.
Okay. So planning to go, planning to stay, and having an exit plan in case things don't work.
And then now, okay, so now, yes, I guess planning to stay would cover everything. Yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, so planning to go, planning to stay, and also having an exit. But doesn't having an exit plan...
If you exit plan, by me saying exit plan, I mean that you probably have the ability to come back. That's what I look at as your exit plan. But I don't think you should go with, from what I learned, you should not go with that one of,
one way.
No, you should go with one way. Don't go with saying that ikiwa mbaya, then I'm taking the next flight back.
But isn't having an exit plan somewhat something
So
like that?
exit plan, by the time ufike your point your exit plan, maybe there should be something, I guess I would call them extenuating circumstances.
Okay.
Maybe imefika kiwango, maybe you had a job, your business went down south or whatever. Ama wewe ni ule mse umekuwa unangojea payment yako kama ule mse wa Machakos for like 4 years.
Yeah.
And maybe some of them could be billions. When ikifika that point, here the system has got you.
Yeah.
So what do? Are you
Yeah.
supposed to sit around and wait till all your things are auctioned, or do you find your way out?
Okay. Now, there was also the confusion before we come to Mike. There was a confusion between, like the experience we get when we go on vacation in December versus actual life in Kenya. And what is it that after more than 6 hours of conversation with Ruth, what do you feel is the misconception that some diasporans had about life in Kenya based on those vacation stays?
The happy-go-lucky, that this is that it's Mombasa Raha all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Reality hits. And either your pocket runs dry, or things go elephant, or there's also that part of kuna, we call it black tax, but there's that thing of there are those who rely on you or somehow are looking at you, and the fact that you're now in Kenya, that doesn't change.
Okay.
But your income now has changed.
Yes. So things are different.
Yes, markedly so, because the pay scale. Ali, as you know, mtu ambaye anagonga hata 100 a month ni kama you are living la vida loca.
Okay. Sawa. Again, the number to call is 202-683-4570. Press star 5 to speak. We're looking for a contribution today based on the 2 very long episodes we had with someone, Ruth Kilungu, who had spent 2025 in Kenya, living and working there, giving us her experiences. And I can see YouTube is active. We appreciate what we're YouTube.
good. Karibu
Facebook
sana.
imelala kidogo on Facebook, although Steven Bati amesema Sambaza podcast is
Sambaza,
here.
karibu sana,
all the way
boss.
from Texas, karibu. And then we have Victor Oma. Anasema Victor Oma from Canada. Anasema going back is a no for me, never.
Hey.
You know, like no other way of putting it.
Apige simu,
Hey,
apige
Victor,
simu.
yeah,
apige
Victor,
simu.
call in.
Yes.
Tell us why.
Because you know the Canadian experience is also entirely different. You know,
From the
sometimes
US, yeah.
sometimes Americans we think that we are the center of the world, but there's actually
100%,
other countries. Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Yes. So Victor,
Ati
you know,
sometimes
like,
unajua
yeah.
wale watu wa Kenya waga nasema nyinyi waga mnafikiriaga nyinyi ndio the it.
Yeah.
So I
So-
don't know. That sometimes can be, ask somebody in Kenya, they'll tell you different sometimes. It's
Okay.
not sometimes, it's all the time.
Na hapa Victor pia anasema typically Kenyans in Canada just don't go back, period. So this is very interesting because this going back may be an American problem and we don't know, you know. And actually this going back thing over the years in America, as things have started disintegrating and falling apart, has actually become more popular. And that's why a lot of people were thanking us for doing this episode. Though someone was saying that there's been so many episodes on the Black American experience in Nairobi, in Kenya, but there's never been, you know, like something like this on returnees. So we appreciate that. And this, like Victor is saying, still, you know, getting us off our blind spots, this may be an American issue.
Ali, I think you're right.
Yeah.
You have to think of it this way. How many people do we know who at some point during our lifetime here in the US, maybe makaratasi ilikuwa ndiambo or kazi or something,
Yeah.
na wakaamua wanatoka one way to Canada to go get acclimated into the Canadian system and all
Yeah.
of that. They are professional, maybe they are nurse, an IT person, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And they went and they moved that side and stayed. Na hawajatoka.
Hawajatoka tena.
And so I think a lot of folks who go to Canada don't go to Canada to have I don't know, they don't have that possibility in their mind of saying ati si tunarudi.
Yeah.
It seems like they're like, we're going to Canada, this is our new frontier, this is the new new west.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is our newfound land and we are going to find our way of surviving na hatutoki.
Yeah. And you know, like when it comes to Canada, you know, like I honestly think, and you know, the problem with America is that America teaches you that this is the best place in the world, no matter what. But I think from the Canadian experience, I think yes, there may be some better economic opportunities in the US, but as far as quality of life in Canada, where they get free healthcare, you know, like they have very effective social services. They don't have the kind of anxiety that we have living in the US. And I think...
do you term anxiety as stress? Or
No, it's anxiety leads to stress.
okay.
Yeah,
Got you. Okay.
Anxiety.
Okay.
Anxiety leads to stress. You know, like normal. You know, like the normal once in a while anxiety is okay, but in America there's always a constant anxiety, and it could be very small things. Will my car get towed? Am I gonna get pulled over? You know, like There's always, you know, like very small anxieties, and especially now in this phase of Donald Trump, where you have people openly telling you that we don't want you guys here. You
Go
know,
back.
like
Yeah.
birthright citizenship was literally being challenged
Go
in
back,
the
yeah.
Supreme Court earlier this week.
Correct.
So these kinds of issues, and maybe Victor can tell us a bit more. These are, you know, like most exclusively American issues. So this is I think it will be nice to get that Canadian experience because I believe it's entirely different. And then we also have B. Joseph here who's tuned in on YouTube and Asema, great show. Kenyan in diaspora, you have to have income, and Victor is further saying make sure you are being paid in dollars. And Yusuf is saying, Yani, you have like a minimum $1,500 because $1,500 now I have a home in Moore Hills. I'm set. Great show, guys. I live in Overland Park. It's better than Karen. Overland Park ni wapi? You know, like is that in the US, in Canada, in
atuambie overland iko
Yeah.
Oh,
wapi.
Victor says he can call.
Yes.
Mpe
202-683-4570. Press star 5 to speak.
Say it slowly in
Yeah.
English.
202-683-4570. Press star 5 to speak. Now, maybe Ali can say that in Swahili.
No.
Okay.
It's confusing.
Okay, let's go to Uno Mike before we
Yes,
get
or-
to the
yes,
Swahili
yes,
part.
yes,
Yeah,
or-
Overland Park is in Kansas.
So before Mika and Kansas, I don't know that which of the two Kansas is the Kansas City or the other one, the one that's in Missouri or the
Oh,
actual Kansas. That's
By the way, those two are neighbors. Carry on.
yeah.
Hii ni ile Kansas ya nini.
And one of
Yeah,
them
Midwest.
will be having a World Cup game. I think it might be the
Ini ya
city.
Midwest.
In ya Midwest.
Yes.
Okay.
Kwanza yeye ndiye anafaa kutuambia kako na matikiti za World Cup.
Okay, sawa. Now, before we get a call from Victor, Uno Mike,
Yes.
do you think there's a lot of social media distortion in as far as what diasporans are exposed to
Yes.
in how life Kenya is?
Yes.
And how do you think that is?
Yes. There's a whole lot of social media. And I think usually social media, I think there's this thing of wanting to keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
That is usually the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And most people, what I've learned from, my whatever, some of the people who are doing well never advertise.
No, they don't.
They never advertise.
Absolutely not.
And I know
Yes.
a few people who do not advertise
Yes.
at all.
Mm-hmm.
But ukiangalia vitu zao, portfolio, however you want to look at it,
Zimepangana.
they're doing well.
Yeah.
The people who advertise a lot are keeping up with the Joneses, meaning that when they go there, kikiumana, after a while, you never hear from them.
Yeah.
And that is something that I really got because the rebuke that I got from correction that I got, and especially when Ruth was here, and I said, I also said that I don't think you listen to the show
Okay.
because there's some people who they take a few clicks and they're like,
Yes.
whatever. But when you send a certain clip to them, they're like, oh, okay. So there was one of not being prepared. Now, like Omosh said, saa zingine unaweza kuwa na in a situation huna stakabadhi za kuenda.
Yes.
Hauna.
Mm-hmm.
So unasema Ali Badawi ni bradhangu, atanisaidia. Ali mwenyewe ana sosi. And I know that for a fact because I know people who have been nyanduliwad chums. They are here, hawana stakabadhi, lakini uko hakuna ene. And people have actually gone, like unaenda kuinvestigate mradi.
You've been sent to go do a nini inaitwaje
Like if you
field
were to
inspection.
say, like now, you send me to your school in Lamu,
Yeah,
in Malindi.
Yes.
You unanituma,
Yeah.
and I'm like, bro,
Go check and see if the car has tires.
Yeah.
Ati where?
Because I had the tires were back.
Eh.
Ebu go see if the tires
ati
are
uko
there.
wapi?
Gari yenyewe iko.
Where's the place? What is close to it? Then nachukua video. Is this the place?
Are you sure?
Yes.
This looks like we need to bring.
And this is Famo
Yes.
Yeah.
that has done that. So there is that aspect. But I'm not saying that you advertised,
Yeah.
but it's like there are those challenges.
Yeah.
However, there are also those situations where it is the people that you're using are legit, are solid, are
Yeah.
on point.
Mm-hmm.
Stakabadhi is very important to be
Yes.
able to do that.
Yes.
To be able to enter, to travel, to go and see what is going on. Not to say that outagongwa.
Yeah.
I always give the story of my mom, business owner. There 6 days a week, 6.5.
Na bado aligongwa.
Boss, ananyoroshwa proper.
Yeah. Okay.
Sembuse sisi tuko hapa. So it is it's a 50-50
It's
bag.
a 50-50. It's a
Yes,
balance.
sir. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. As you check again, if Victor has called us in, Victor, the number to call is 202-683-4570.
Bado
Press
nangoja
star 5
apige.
to speak.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know whether, like bundles za Canada zinapiga US, but I think...
Zinaweza kwa zimeleta
Pengine
muhadhara.
anacheki tu.
Okay. And
So Ali, let me ask you before
Yes.
you continue.
Yes.
This that mentality of kuna mse yuko majuu na tunafaa kumnyorosha, as in chapa yake ni lazima tukule.
Yeah.
Where does that come from? Because I remember growing up, we had a lot of relatives who were abroad, especially tuseme ma UK, pengine hata kuna wase walikuwa wanaenda ma Russia, yes, the status pia, but wanakujaga back and forth, and they would come and they would just, blend with us and we continue living.
So
what happened?
So I think what happened back then, there was a different profile of the person who was coming to America, and there was far fewer people who were coming to America and going back to Kenya. It was far fewer people, so it was that rare gem in every family. Then at some point, so many of us ended up coming here, and then I think the thing that might have changed is that there was an issue, there become a significant issue within the Kenyan economy. So that divide of people who you are at par with became so big, whereby we were at the same, level. But then at some point, not because the person in Kenya is not working hard or anything, but then that divide became so big. And then sasa, with you as a diasporan, not knowing sometimes how to behave when you go back home, you maybe arc people in a certain way, and people feel like, okay, huyu mtu hapa, we saw him here when he had nothing, now he's acting like he's all that, wacha tukule pesa yake.
Okay, and then I guess we add on, is it poverty level? Because even kuna wale wanakula, but it's not poverty that is driving them. Ni kama, as long as it's not their money, wacha wakule.
Yeah. So, and I guess that also depends now on the type of relationship you have with, whether it's friends or even with family.
Yeah.
When you're here, because I think it's also important sometimes kujulia tu family hali, rather than assume that I don't want to text them because if I text them, they're going to ask me for money. I think there's also that misperception that we sometimes have as diasporans, that everybody is just timing to, get in contact with you to eat your money. Of course, there's some people who are like that, who at every opportunity they'll try to eat your money. But yeah. And again, the number to call is 202-683-4570. Press star 5 to speak. Do we have a caller?
Yes, we do, but keep talking as I fix it.
Okay. All right. So our caller, just stay tuned. We're going to fix that. So yeah, so that's part of, what I think is the case. And then I also think over the years, kumeanza kuwa na, let me not say chuki, but the sentiment is not the same, for people who come from the diaspora, especially the United States. And I don't know exactly why.
You're talking about the way they are treated, or the way they are thought of, the perception?
The way they are thought of, the perception.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's become different. It's become different. So,
and you've seen that over the years of going back and forth. When you go home, unaona kuna ka difference.
Kuna ka difference, yes. There's a certain difference. For me, I would not say with family, but I would say maybe with peers, with friends. People maybe used to once to hang out with, talk to, but
went to school with.
Yeah, but the vibe is different. And I also think what happens is that when you're younger, things are different. When you start growing older and the divisions become more apparent, then I think people become more distant. Where people, like take different personalities, people change, priorities change, so things cannot be exactly the same. Again, number to call 202-683-4570. Press star 5 to speak. Let's hear from our caller.
9182. Thank you for calling the One Mic Show. Name and where you're calling from.
Welcome to the One Mic Show.
Hi guys. Naitwa Victor Ouma. I'm calling from Toronto, Canada.
All right.
Karibu mse wa TO.
Karibu Victor, talk to us about the Canadian experience, so that we can understand that America is not the center of the universe.
And
Victor,
that it's not only weather that's bad in Canada.
No. But guys, you're fully aware that it's not everywhere in Canada. It's
Okay.
just
Wow.
speaking as somebody in Toronto. It's the weather in the same most of the East Coast, say like New York.
Correct.
Last time I told New York, and it's not the same weather, so it's not that crazy.
okay, now talk to us
Yeah,
about
but-
the situation with Canada.
Yeah, back to the topic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mi naweza sema just as somebody, it's gonna be 3 years, I think in September, kwenye nilikuja Canada.
Okay.
Mi nilikuja kama mwanafunzi, so nilikuja kusoma. Actually, personally, wife alikuja kusoma US, so tulikuja graduate school. So mi nilikuja Toronto, ya alikuwa South Dakota, Sioux Falls.
Okay.
So, of course, we would visit each other back and forth. But we decided to settle in Canada. I think somebody mentioned just niize kupata makaratasi.
Okay.
Nianzie hapo kwanza.
Understood.
Mhm.
Understood. Uh-huh.
Niize kupata makaratasi kama like I said, ni 3 years in September na tushakuwa resident. I think
nice.
getting that in the US is but to few sana wanna get that residency that quick.
Correct.
Unless you're married, I guess.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
But
yes.
if let's say kama ni H1B na hizo vitu zote ni hard. So for us nisema, at least the Canadian experience ninasema, watu wengi when they come to Canada they feel settled haraka.
Okay.
Yani you get the makaratasi in 2-3 years you're a Canadian citizen, tayari kuna passport. So most people just want to stay, and I think somebody mentioned mambo universal healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
Unaenda kwa, my wife was mentioning the US experience where like you have to copay kila kitu ataka uko na insurance.
Yes,
that is true. Yes.
Healthcare.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hapa unaenda kuona doki, kila kitu ni bure. Hakuna kulipa out of pocket, madawa, miwani, dentist, nini, kila kitu. Of course, we are paying for it through taxes.
Yeah, higher
It's
taxes.
Right.
but
Yes.
But I
think-
guess it's worth
I
it,
think-
right?
I would rather pay it through taxes than when the daktari like ambulance for $3,000 and then now your door. Then you start falling on medical bills and all that stuff. So I think watu wengi wanna pay just because of the quality of life. I think somebody mentioned that as well. US, you make more money for sure, but Canada is like this next door neighbor. It gives you the quality of life, but you still have access to the US. Like to look, somebody was mentioning Kansas City as well. Tunakuja kuwatch World Cup Kansas City actually, Netherlands na
Allah.
Tunisia in June.
Haya,
Allah.
mulipata
So I like to
matikiti.
get tickets.
Ulipata
Yeah.
ticket?
Yes, that's another story. Yeah,
Ah.
to get tickets, but we had to buy the hospitality package.
That package. Yeah, it's kind of
As a
high, but
Pakistani.
still, yeah.
Okay. But now, Victor, I'm curious.
Yeah.
Being in Canada for
Yeah.
3 years, what is it that made you?
Yeah.
You said that you're never going back to Kenya. I mean, you've been in Canada only for 3 years. What is it? Of course, to understand, like free healthcare, like good quality of life, like getting residency, feeling settled. But you seemed very decisive that Haurudi Kenya, like what exactly is it? Is it something to do with what you got in Canada or what you left in Kenya? Victor?
I think wacha niwapatie background.
Yeah.
Maybe it might be unajua Kenya wenye nimemit hapa, na before nilikuwa naishi West. Actually nilikuja shule Vancouver, BC. But Vancouver kulikuwa tu kunanyesha sana. So nika move my school to Toronto. Toronto was more my vibe. I wanted like the big city life.
Yeah.
Not that Vancouver is a small city. It's just it rains too much. So Toronto was nicer, but then the people when you meet hapa, most of them just don't go back. And personally, obviously, kila mtu akona reasons zake. But personally, to give you more background, nimetoka Kenya essentially 2018.
Okay.
For me, at least. So 2018 nilikuwa nafanya job na kampuni fulani, sijui kama unajua Bidco Africa pale.
Yes.
Thika.
Yes.
So nilikuwa nafanya job na Thika. Sasa wakanirudisha kufanya, ilikuwa into audit. So mimi bongo yangu ni finance audit. So nikaenda kufanya auditing job Madagascar and Antananarivo.
Oh, nice.
That year. So nikaenda for I think the first time was 4 months. Nikaenda, and then nikarudi back to Kenya, and then nikarudi tena for a second audit for another 3 months. Mm-hmm. So that year, spending it outside the country was my first time outside the country.
Oh, okay.
And it was such a good experience personally. Again, first time kupanda ndege, just breathing the air ya huko nje, kuona venye watu wanaishi huko nje. Sometimes, when you're in Kenya too much, you always kwani hao watu wanaishi huko nje wanaishingi aje? Unaona? Only see them on TV. But then when I got back, kulikuwa na hiyo opportunity, and this is going to shock most people because people were asking me mbona nilienda huko. Nikapata scholarship kwenda Russia.
What?
Moscow.
Okay.
To be specific.
Nasi battlefield.
Yeah.
This was 19 before the battle.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so.
No. This was 2019 October, just before COVID hit actually. To Moscow na COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So mi na wife tumeenda Moscow. Tulikuwa tumeenda kusoma bado. Sisi tunapenda kusoma kweli. So tumeenda kusoma, tulikuwa the same class na wife. Tulikuwa tumepiga MBA huko, one of the business schools in Moscow.
Okay.
Moscow was nice, and then when Moscow, COVID hit, like I said, so we couldn't come back home. Well, most travels was just because may slow down, and then immediately after COVID, this is now 2022, vita ya Ukraine ikaanza. So
Okay.
again, we couldn't go back home because Putin alikataza watu kutoka flights because na fly out, and then US sanction Russia vibaya na we couldn't buy flights with a Visa and MasterCards. It was a whole thing. So in June 2022 tukamanage kutoka, tukarudi Nairobi. When I kurudi Nairobi, this is the part where I think the conversation he showing come in, would you go back? So when we came in June, we actually came coming back, we're looking for jobs. No, because tumekuja na MBA, well, in Moscow still, but it's a good school in Moscow. Tukasema hii degree natupatia kazi,
itafungua mlango.
Na najua tunasema itafungua mlango. Exactly. Najua tunasema Kenya lazima ujue mtu, but sisi hatujui watu. We come from normal families. Last week you guys were speaking of elite and stuff. We're not elite people from elite families. We're just normal folk in Kenya. So tukaanza kutafuta kazi, LinkedIn, Indeed, nini. hizo mama multinational, we speak Russian, by the way, because that was one of the things that we had to learn when we were in Russia.
I
So
meant
speak
to ask you
Russian
that.
to
But,
make
nice,
easy.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But nothing. I took apart a job.
So,
We tried everything, networking, blah 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 blah. Like
Even Russian companies.
wanasema,
which Russian company?
even Russian companies.
And
Well, they are there.
Russian embassy.
Zinafanya mostly zinafanya na like zinatry to bring up hizi vitu za power plants in Kenya.
Aha.
Nuclear
Okay,
stuff.
nuclear stuff. Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They're mostly startups. So, but anyway, long story, and again trying to keep it to the topic. We had a hard time getting jobs.
Mhm.
We had savings, but it was nice because tulikuwa tunafanya job to Russia, so we were on that. But then without income, to realize slowly and slowly the money is going.
Yeah.
There's no money coming in.
Mm.
Yeah, so the only other way is to go out. Na sasa sisi tumejiambia okay, we can get visas. So wife alipata scholarship kwenda US, mimi nikakuja Canada. And that's how we ended up here. But then after kusoma, both of us tunafanya kazi, wife anafanya na Ontario government, anafanya the city of Toronto. Like we have jobs, tukuna residency, so we feel settled.
Okay.
Honestly, tuko na PTSD ya kurudi Kenya yenye tuko like, why would I even go back after?
Wow.
I decided to go back for like 6 months, almost to a year. I couldn't even get an interview. What at a job? At an interview.
Wow.
Now-
This is actually very,
This is crazy.
This
This
is crazy.
But this is normal.
And this is where
We don't know that.
we don't know
normal.
that. Yeah.
It is normal.
You know,
Almost.
like, especially
We don't know that.
we
Okay.
don't know that. And that's a part
I get it.
of-
I get it that you guys don't know, but it's normal.
No, but I think the part where people don't get is these people, especially these people here in the US, anasema niko na degree fulani, mimi nitaenda Kenya.
Because remember,
Nitatoka tu
remember
niende
Victor
nayo. Yeah.
ametoka, he speaks Russian,
Yes.
graduate,
Yeah.
He has an MBA.
he has
by
an
the way.
MBA.
Yeah.
So him and his wife, Sasa, they're like, okay.
Yeah, they're double
And you
armed.
don't even need to know anyone.
They're double armed.
You know, like even in Stato, you don't need to know anyone.
Yeah.
Credentials will sell.
Same as Canada.
Same as Canada. But you
Yeah.
see, like, even if you know somebody, it's an added advantage.
Yes.
But you don't have to know anyone.
Okay. So hapa Victor, hii story yako, it's already an epic story. We have your number here. We will contact you. Because I think a lot of those of us who are living in the US are also very blind
Yes.
to what's happening
Yes.
next door because we think US is the center of the universe. And actually, now that you've mentioned it, it's very rare to hear, like people from Canada, because we do have a lot of friends in Canada.
I do. I have a very, I have a few
It's
guys
very
that I know.
rare to hear this story of people saying, planning to go back home. This is actually an
Planning to go back to
American
Kenya,
thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think you're validating that point that this is very bigly an American thing. But anyway, umeka Canada miaka 3 pekee.
Na wewe
So
umesema
so I think you need to car like another
10 years.
another 5 years
We need to give him another
before you
5.
make that
Another 5.
decision.
And by the way,
100%.
just to I have a few friends. I know a
Yeah.
friend of mine who used to live here. And I think he's come to the studio. Roy. He used to live in North Carolina. Now he's in Canada. There's a friend of mine called Augustine.
Yeah.
But I think he lives. Listen, by the way, Canada, we need to we need to relearn the
Yeah,
geography
yes.
because
But I also
becomes-
think the big thing with Canada, mi niliendaga, like Montreal. Montreal, very, very interesting place. Like everything suddenly turns French when you cross the
oh
border.
yeah, there's francophone and
Yeah.
anglophone parts of.
But it's a very interesting place. It doesn't have this grand and big things and massive things. The most interesting thing I saw is KFC huko inaitwa PFK because of that rule where everything that's in public has to have a French name. So even KFC, they had to convert it to French.
Poulet something.
Yes, poulet friedo Kentucky. So I found that very interesting.
Unasikia?
Ukiingia McDonald's menu
Pia
iko
sedu, sijui.
iko kwa French, kila kitu. So I found that interesting, but then I found it a bit calmer. I found people a bit more friendly. America unajua mambo ni teke.
Yes.
You know, like and there's always and I think hata pia mimi
Uliza swali.
Yes, uliza. Yeah.
Yeah. It is actually why nilikuwa nataka ni call. Yes, najua.
Yes.
It definitely goes without saying. Sijakaa sana. But then as somebody, yes, sikuwa North America when I was in Russia, but tulikuwa huko close on miaka 4.
Yeah.
And ukiongeza tatu za hapa, just like generally as somebody who has lived outside the country
for a number of years
in Kenya, I think for a number of years, might be in Europe and Canada, but not in the US. But I think not everyone, especially to the Kenyans when you interact now hapa in Toronto, na Vancouver at least, are very keen on going back. And I'm saying this kwa sababu nimekuwa nikifollow story yenu actually of late with the lady Ruth, I think.
Yes.
And maybe my question is mnaweza niambia the friends that you have, especially wenye walitoka US walikuja Canada, because unajua kuna kuanga na wase wengi wanakuja Canada juu ya makaratasi and stuff.
Yes.
Au marafiki zenyu wameishi huko Canada for longer than me. Kuna wenye wamerudi Kenya?
None, zero. At least on my side.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I don't know.
Even me, I'll say the same thing. The
So,
ones who I know who
So-
left here to go there, in fact, have not come back, and a lot of them left here because hawakuwa na okaro, so walikuwa nasema wacha tuende to try tupate za Canada, alafu sasa tunaweza rudi tukiwa tukuna ako kacheti. They never came back.
I know
They
one
come, they
family.
visit, they go back.
Yeah, I know one family from Canada that attempted to relocate back to Kenya. They had kids, young kids. I can't remember how old, but they swiftly came back within 2 years. They returned to Canada very swiftly. You know, like walirudi kimya. You know, like, and I was even surprised one day, you know, like tulikuwa tuna WhatsApp, and then that's when I realized, you know, like this guy is in Canada. So, I'm like, so you're visiting? Like, no, this is easy. I came back. Yeah. So
What I will do is thank you,
That's
Victor.
my point.
Thank you
That's my
for
point.
asking.
Yeah.
Victor, thank you
My
for
point.
asking that question, because you know what?
unajua nini?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Canada is not the US for sure.
Yeah.
Najua tuko neighbors, North America, nini.
Yes.
But the point is, quality of life, I think more generally saying, the quality of life in Canada is definitely higher than the US. Especially when you can get a story, life, family life, just talking of the story again. That's like another story. Unajua mse ana feel settled. Yes, you can visit home. I have Perosa at home, my siblings at home. 2 of my siblings actually wanaishi US. Mmoja ako Chicago na mwingine ako Virginia, Richmond. And for me personally, nikiwa hapa na Wakenya wenye naongea nayo, they don't look at going back home. Not that they cannot get jobs and stuff in Kenya. That's when they say, if you have to go, make sure you're being paid in dollars, because the shillings were there.
That's
Yeah.
very
normal.
it's
So,
not chilling.
If you have to go, make sure you're being paid in dollars. Probably you're still working remotely for a company maybe go US or Canada or in Europe. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
And I think that's the point nilikuwa nataka ni call tu na kusema.
Okay. Asante
Okay.
sana.
Shukran sana.
Asante sana,
Thank you, Victor. I have a
We'll
question
be-
for you, though.
Yeah.
Just a little one, Paul Ali.
Yeah.
So
Niambie.
my question to you, Victor, is this: when you and wifey decided to come back na hapo kwa kupata ma scholarships nini, is it because you were networking kupata hizo ma scholarship, ama ilikuwa tu zile vitu mlikuwa mmejua mkiwa majuu ndio ilifungua hiyo path ya kupata scholarship? Because also we see a lot of folks in Kenya who have their undergrad and they want to do, say, their masters, but sasa hiyo kupenya na kufanya hiyo masters huwaga ni ndiambo.
Ngori ni-
It's a problem in terms of where to find the funding, or if you don't have somebody who can pay for you and stuff like that. So was it something that it's because of who you knew, or ilikuwa tu an opportunity that came up na muka grab?
Oh, I actually, you have to give props where it's due. I actually have to give props. You guys as Kenyans in the US, you've probably heard of them. Wanaitwa Kenya Airlift Program. I think nowadays
Yes.
Yeah, the guy, I think he lives in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bob Mwiki or something like that.
Put us in
use that.
contact with him, by the
Yes,
way.
put us in contact with him.
We want to interview him. Kama unaweza, put him in contact. Tafadhali kama unaweza.
Hiyo tutogelee offline, but just to answer the question, because I know I'm on air and probably if staffers ambaye tuwasikia, I have to give them props.
Yes.
Ndo walitusaidia kupata hizo vitu ya funding and stuff.
Okay.
But obviously as Kenyans, mi nasema especially after nimekuja huku na wife pia alienda US. Na two of my family that in the US, though wao tuliwasaidia since now we knew the way. But naweza sema it's definitely something that you can do by yourself. Then najuanga kuna hiyo like mtu ataki kufanya hiyo research and all that, you just want to pay somebody to do it for you.
Yes.
Like if that's something
Yes.
that somebody wants to do, then they'd still do that in Kenya. But then that answer your question, yes, those are the people that we use to navigate your process. Kuja Canada na West US.
Okay.
Wow.
All
Shout
right.
out to them.
Hey, Victor, asante sana.
Thank you for
Shukran
sharing
sana.
your story.
You know, like salimia watu Toronto kuna Waswahili wenzetu wengi sana, kuna Waswahili wenzangu huko wengi sana, wasalimie wote. And yes, we will be in touch with you to get
Hii namba inaisha na 9182, that is your contact, eh?
Yes, kuna mtu alikuwa anasema bundles za Canada ifiki US.
That was Ali.
Si unajua hizi ni hizi si unajua ndo vile US.
So expect a message from either one of us and we'll touch base.
Yeah, we'll touch base. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Shukran sana, boss.
Before you go, how did you first find out about the One Mic Show?
Yes.
Honestly, I don't know. Ninasema ni algorithm because I spend a lot of time on YouTube. Sitaki ikam off vibaya.
No, absolutely not.
Nakuanga na YouTube Premium. So I think hiyo kuwa nayo like inanifanya I spend so much time watching YouTube stuff.
Okay.
And I try as much as possible to lean towards Kenyan content.
Nice.
And I think algorithm ikaniletea hiyo story ya Ruth when alikuwa ameenda Kenya and what she was sharing, and I found myself resonating with it. Yeah, juu ya ile time nilikuwa nimetoka well, mimi na wife tulikuwa tumetoka Moscow tukirudi Kenya.
Yeah.
I think we were there for a bit of like wife like 6 months, me going on 1 year because process ya Canada visa process yao ni refu, join an interview, so you basically apply and just wait.
Oh wow.
So they have kungoja longer, but yeah, that's how I think algorithm too like it later, and then since
We
then
thank the algorithm.
subscribe and comes a
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much. You know,
Shukran,
like
Gave.
share this.
But before actually I go, I just have to say this: if no one else will say, I think you guys are doing a good thing. You know, giving us Kenyan content, talking about home. Even if I say that I'm not going back, it's not that I don't visit. I still visit. It's just I can't see myself
Settling.
kiwa home at full time.
No, absolutely. And understood.
Absolutely. Respect.
Understood. Respect. You know, like, and that's why this is the People's Kamkunji. We, of course, the reason why it's a Kamkunji is because we try to get all those different perspectives. And for people to understand, yes, there's a lot of people in America who are romanticizing going back home, but there's also a lot of people out in the diaspora who are very comfortable where they are, and they're not looking to go back home. And then, of course, like a lot of us who moved, shortly after high school, we never had that experience of tammacking.
Yes.
We never had that
Kenya.
experience
We never did.
of being broke in Kenya. That's why there's still a very romantic
Notion.
Attachment.
Yeah.
and not the reality that hits you when you're there in Kenya. Na una job, you have a family to feed. So Victor, asante sana. We appreciate
Shukran
you.
sana, Victor.
Asante sana.
Yeah.
We'll reach out to
So
Gada.
inaonekana we
Sasa
need to-
niacheni niongee.
Haya.
Aye.
Hey.
Mtu wa Good Friday.
Welcome to the One Mic Show.
Umeskip Good Friday, Mika.
No, yuko in between. Yuko in between
Hakuna
meals.
cha in between. Nimekaa hapa 30 minutes na wasikia tu mkiongea tu hapa mnaongea. Nikijaribu kuongea alia naongea haraka. Nikasema acha ninyamaze leo. Niwasikie. Unajua Yesu alikufa leo. So acha nitulie.
Okay. Lakini umeingia. So happy Good
And I
Friday,
think Victor is
Mika.
still online, by the way.
Happy Good
That's
Friday,
right.
Mika. Ebu
That's
tuambie hiyo story umesikiza.
Maoni yako, Gada.
just give us
Blah, blah,
your
blah.
perception of it, because I've always, and we've always wanted to have a Canadian perception. We've always wanted it to be different, but Americans were tuna dominate hizi conversation sana. So Mika, tell us what you feel about what Victor Oma was telling us.
I mean, for me, I can understand where he's coming from, right? The thing is, what most people never really take into consideration is that we all experience things in life differently. We all experience situations differently. Unfortunately, what Victor has experienced is an experience that so many people have experienced, and also a lot of people have not experienced, right? He went and got a good education somewhere, an education that in other places it's considered as good enough to get a job. The problem, as you guys have said, we have that nostalgic thing of that, because it's been drummed in us from when we were young. Education is the key. Soma, masomo litakusaidia tu, hakuna kitu ingine. So when you soma and that kusoma disappoints you, it's hard to recover from that, right? Hapo umeambiwa we soma. Kenya kitu tunafanya soma tu, kuja na hiyo kitabu yako, soma mbuku, piga mbuku. Unakuja unapiga hiyo mbuku yako, kwanza unaenda international unarudi. There's nothing giving. It's not something that's, it's like when a kid is being told by their parent that you have to achieve a certain thing. And when they achieve that thing and they come and show it to their parents are like, hata hakuna kitu hapo. That kid will never recover to be themselves. So I can understand where Victor is coming from. And then when he goes to another place, that other place shows him that if policies are set in place, you can achieve your dream, or you can achieve what you want and grow bigger than that. I can see where it's coming from. And that's the same reason why most of the people, when Uno was explaining, he was talking to his pal. No, it was you, Ali, who you said somebody went back. And then you were talking to them and they were like, no, sijakuja kuvisit, nimerudi. My cousin Louis, Chief Louis sikalihama, kakajifanya hapa kakaenda.
Huyo Louis needs to be a permanent fixture.
Yuko hapa kwa comments.
Ako kwa comments?
Yeah, yuko kwa comments.
Ay. Sasa atapiga simu sasa na
Mwambie akupigia, alikuja akanipigia hapa story yake ya shipping. Mwambie apigie story yake.
Abandu banje murembe muno.
Safari kama alimfanya Kenya.
Alienda one way. Alitoka one way na karudi one way.
Akarudi one way.
Yeah. So you see, the thing is, when you know your worth
Yes.
and you present it to somebody, even just friends, lovers, family, whoever you're with, if you know your worth and you know your value and you present it to somebody, and that person, right, that person all they give you back is resentment, madharau, you're never going to see that person in any different, better light. Now, on the other hand, there are people who land back home and it's
Yeah.
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 everything they touch is like Midas. It turns into gold.
Turns into gold.
Everything they touch turns into gold, right?
Yeah.
It might be luck. It might be that particular time things are efficient. It might be Lijipanga, but there's some people who go back and things happen up. So it's like a sword. It cuts both ways.
It cuts both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It cuts both ways. It just takes, for me, honestly, if you ask me what is my plan to go back home, Messi wadanganyi ndazala 50-50 kwanza. I'll do 6 months of summer in America. Kwanza hapa May hapo May. Thanksgiving niko Kenya. Narudi huku June, July. I will that ideally that's what I would call a retirement for me. Spend a good time your summertime America na kuzunguka the rest of the world, but the other parts of the 6 months I'm in Kenya doing whatever it is. That's for me, that's my ideal retirement plan. Then we can see if we can transition to 100% there or 100% here.
Okay.
I know people who have gone back home. They built a house, we shall go. Fiti, na kila kitu. Right? Wengine wakaenda kanunua ikafika mahali wakaboeka kabaya apartment Western. No, anaishi tu, not Westlands, Nairobi, anaishi vizuri sana. But at some point, wamerudi America kwa na apartment tena. So like when it transition from 100 to 50-50.
Yes. Okay.
So me, I'm thinking instead of being 100 to 50-50, let me just start 50-50 and then we see.
Yeah. Okay, sawa Mika. Yeah, like very good input from Mika, and there was also a number of comments that were coming in while Victor was speaking to us. Stephen JJ hapa on Facebook anasema things are working, home vitu are just stagnant mazee, unakuwa frustrated sana mazee. And then Eshirandula hapa alikuwa anasema Bob Mwiti sahi yuko Kwale anajivinjari na maji ya madafu. A good man there. Eshirandula, tell us your story, because it seems you have a story that you're hiding from us.
Apige simu 202-683-4570.
I think he can only tell us in text.
And kwanza huyo
Yes.
I don't think he minds calling. Eshirandula, tigawana.
He doesn't mind. I think it depends on what he's listening to at this point.
Mr. Paul Waithaka is also tuned in.
Kwanza huyo
Paul Waithaka anasema join groups that are focused on financial wellness and investments. That has been very helpful for me. Realize the dollar does not go as far as it used to. Kenya is expensive. Gone are the days of walking out of Uchumi with 2 full trolleys and you spend 10K. That is now 2 to 3 shopping bags. And then number 3, get yourself some backup power, generator or a UPS. I think power fluctuations can be the most frustrating thing, especially if you're working remotely. And then number 4, be nice to folks who look like they are not much, but they really are. Watches, house helps. Someone said caddies, if you play golf, waiters, they really do make the world go round.
Can I comment?
And then number 5, plugs. You always need a plug. Electrician,
Yes.
carpenter, fruits
Yes.
and veggies
Yes.
guy,
Yes.
driver, cabbie, barber, gardener, you name it. You need a reliable plug. And then number 6, know your boda guy. Boda ni muhimu. Yes.
Can I comment on that?
Yes. Goja nimalize hizi
Sorry,
zake.
go maliza please.
And then number 7, if you're moving with school-going children, buckle up, because schools in Kenya are damn expensive. I was paying 500K a term for 2 kids for the cheapest IB school at Aga Khan Academy. Passive income is a must. Uno Mike.
Let me say this. And I wish my brother who was here a while back alisema hivi. Dombolo ya solo. Unajua Dombolo ni mzee wa streets. Kiasi. The most important people that you need to take care of are you watching? Sorry, the person who is looking out for your digs,
Yeah.
and the person who is facilitating your inside the digolos.
Yeah.
Yeah, cooking for you, looking after you, whatever.
Please.
They're called
Excuse me.
house managers.
Caretaker.
Or caretaker. Yeah.
Unajua watu wa South B hawa.
Yes,
Hawana
South
decorum.
Yes.
When was I from South B?
Oh, sorry. Is it Nairobi West?
They're the same thing.
They're the same
South
thing.
B, South
Oh,
B,
hizo zote.
Nairobi West,
Mataheko.
zote, they're all in the same WhatsApp group.
Sawa.
They all add up from Nairobi West Hospital to Mata.
Thank you.
South B is a different
Hapana,
constituency.
hapana. Again, vile umeongea anyway.
Industrial areas between them.
Sawa. Watu
Yes.
into 5-4.
Mm.
Sort them out.
Very important.
Uni mse na kupikia chakula. This is a person who has access to your digs.
Yeah.
This is a person who has access, like uyo.
They have very personal information.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you do madhogodhanio to them,
Yeah, they can mess you up.
Hey,
like a nonsense.
Yeah.
Utafinywa.
Unaweza
So
finywa.
like it's important.
Unajua the funny thing is like si hata tu hao pekee.
For starters.
Yeah, for starters, yes. But anybody who does a service to you
Yes.
back home,
Yes.
right? Oni mtu mwenye, they can either make you or break you in a
Yes.
very simple way.
Yes.
From hata tu ukienda kwa restaurant tu waiter.
Kwanza hao.
Unajua hata club. Unajua club ukiingia hivi
Bro.
usalimie bouncer, ile usalimie bouncer ni aje nini cheke nao nini hivi.
Mpatie somo moja.
Watakuisha, buda si hata unacheka soda. Wacheka kwa soda. Waje tu katao tu ambia kunyweni basi kasoda ingie ndani.
Tao umeenda mbele lakini sawa.
Utachungwa the whole night.
Watakuwa waseka 5. No, you sort.
Utachungwa the whole night, right? Na watakuwa show baka watatafuta ule waiter mzuri mwenye atakuja kwao na watakuchanua leo kama unajua mimi nishaingia club ni kwamba leo ishia home. Ile mchele kwa hapa ni moba utatomboa. Like unajua unafika hivyo na mwendo hapa leo hizi tomboa. Hapo tuumizwa. Like wanakuchunga.
I agree with Mickey.
So
Wale backers.
Hata kwa restaurant ukienda kwa restaurant like kwa chunga fiti unatisha food na kuambia leo sidhani usikule fry leo. Hiyo ni nyama ililala. Hakwambii ililala lakini nyama ililala. Anakuambia kivicheza.
Ama mpishi ni different.
Mimi naona tu leo kule choma. Choma ni poa, kula tu choma leo. Anakuambia tu like sikia Kenya la kushow. Juu umeweka poa pia na kuweka poa. Utaenda muhare ya bure. Juu umekula ulikata wana madharau.
Na hiyo kitu Kenya wagambaya.
Yeah. It's quite simple. Know how to live with people. Like
Yes.
hawa tunadharau. But
Yes.
unadharau wingi hapo unaonanga sijui unajiona wewe vile.
Don't.
Hao ndo watakuweka.
Yeah. So now, there was also someone else, Johnny K, up on YouTube, Johnny K254, anasema algorithm hapa pia like 2 weeks ago. So yes, so that algorithm is working in our favor.
Absolutely.
And then and then there was someone who had commented earlier when we were speaking, Ubi Yosef yani leo yuko is on another level.
Ni Yusuf ama Yosef?
Imeandikwa ni Yosef.
We'll go with
hapa
Yosef.
kulikuwa na Mjengo Mashinani 218. Ali is on point. Peers and sometimes family harbor veiled resentment, especially when your home visits become more frequent.
They will,
Yeah.
for sure. I know that for a fact that I know guys in Baltimore, who have contracted FAMO, Kenya. Hey, they've seen dust.
But I also think the overall problem is that we are looking at a very tough economy in Kenya, because I try to give people
It
in
is
Kenya
tough.
grace.
It's extremely tough.
And whether no.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily a tough economy, even when you're flourishing. From what when I say from what I've seen and experienced and people that have been, even when things are mzuri, guys in Kenya in 254 will still nyandua you.
I see this differently, and I guess it's because
Hiyo ni experience yako.
And by the way, boss, what? Listen,
Yeah.
I am talking about people that I know.
okay,
Even when the economy is doing well, bado watu FAMO and guys have been properly
So I mean, I'll personally be honest. I hear of this a lot. You know, like in Kenya, even last week, I think this was talking about, you know, like even people contracting someone to try and take you out. And we've had some cases here and there.
Correct. Yeah.
I hear people talking about this, and me, it's just my own experience, honesty. I haven't seen this type of bile from my extended family.
Personal. Yeah.
That is
your
you.
personal experience,
I am talking about people that I know.
Yes.
I am talking about people that I know who do not have jwala za kutravel, but have been madhogodhaniot
Or
in the last
financially.
5 years.
Yeah.
When we say financially, we're talking about even money that has been sent to do projects and whatever.
Yeah.
to help set them up.
Set them
when
up
they go home.
because whatever, but it has been bad.
Okay. But is that an outlier? Again, I'll ask that question. Is that an outlier? Is that like a normal
from what
thing?
you're seeing.
From what you're seeing?
From what I've seen,
Is it just...
it's not an outlier.
It's you cannot call it. It's
not
ngoja
an
nikwambie.
outlier, boss. It is
No, but no, you cannot say it's common because sababu a lot of the people in the diaspora have invested back home through their families. And I want to say majority of the people in the diaspora have invested back home through their families.
Yes.
Like unapata msee ametumia familia kujua hauna njia ingine ya kutumia, but ukiangalia kwa kina mtu watu wamejenga kwao, right?
But
Ali
is-
hapa alipiga project pia through familia yake.
Yes,
Unaona?
that is
fine.
Yeah.
Me
But
nimedu
Mika,
vitu home through familia yangu.
that
Omosha
is-
amedu vitu through familia yake.
that is
Wewe umedu
fine.
vitu through familia yako.
That is-
Ngoja uno. So yes, kuna wale ugongwa. And as all happened, si usikie hizo story. Right? Kuna juzi moja ilikuwa famous ya Massachusetts ilikuwa inaongelewa. Ilikuwa kwa news and everywhere, right? Si usikie hizo story. Yes, will happen. Watu tunajua wame go through the same situation. It happens. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I wouldn't call it an outlier. I wouldn't call it
A common.
a common thing. I would say is
It happens.
It happens.
It happens with some
It happens.
frequency.
Ni kama
Say-
kamari. Ni kama ukienda taone za gongo. unaweza
Sawa,
ibua simu.
Mika. Yeah, I'm with Mika on that one. It's not an outlier,
Okay.
outlier
But it
whatever,
happens with
but
certain frequency.
it happens.
With
Frequency,
Yeah,
it depends
inaonekana-
on whatever.
Inaonekana frequency yake ya Uno
Iko juu.
iko frequent.
Yeah.
Dust tumeona vumbi.
But could this also be an aspect of these stories, you know, like we tend to hear them, the good stories are never told.
Talked about.
They're never talked about.
No.
So let me
That's
say
true.
this. No, let me say this. My experience is
Yeah.
the good stories are not broadcast because you know what? Like I think I mentioned it because there are those guys who
Because good stories are expected. Ni normal. Tuna expect tuko majuu ujenge kwenu.
Yeah.
Normal. Kapish. Hiyo ni kawaida.
So it's
So
a
good
normal
stories,
story.
I don't, yeah, it's a normal thing. That's what they expect from you. Usipofanya hivyo, tutaongea. Ukiibiwa, tutaongea. But ukifanya,
but
kwani
also
tulikuwa tuna expect nini?
remember when you announce your stuff
Yeah.
unaiweka huko, there are guys who don't announce. So wow, there are those guys who chini ya maji
Yeah.
wako sawa.
Yeah.
Wako sawa. Like if you ask like okay, I know one. I don't know.
But ukitangaza on
Ukitangaza
social
like
media, for example.
sijui what, this is my thing,
Yeah.
this is my
I have a
construction.
10-bedroom home.
You know, like there are those guys who don't do anything in terms of broadcasting on social media.
Yeah.
Even if they're on social media, but they don't announce, they don't project, they don't
Yeah.
do whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that is a problem in the 254 in that because when you pronounce, like now for example, if Ali says, I've got a 15-bedroom home I'm building in Kileleshwa, kuna manyangauro wanangoja.
For Ali to land or otherwise.
Whether he lands or not, there is a way that people are gonna figure out a way to get his contacts, for a way to get his number. They will find a way, watanyamela social media, whatever. Yet tuseme kama kuna Mika akona 25-acre plot in prime estate in Kileleshwa ama Karen ama Runda, that people don't know about or whatever, and anafanya vitu anajenga whatever, he's doing things or whatever, people will not know, and he makes sure that. But again, even if he does that, kuna mtu muhangre
Okay.
in that part over there who's going to be like, hey, nipate kitu, give me 10,000 and I'll tell you what, this guy who's called he calls himself Mika Och. Alafu sasa unaanza kuput. Anyway, carry on.
So there's a comment here coming from Tony Shira on Facebook. Anasema, hey team, from a convo we had today morning, and my friend drew a picture of how nothing seems to work back home for the majority. No money in circulation, and those who have put whatever money they had in businesses are closing down, while others are scaling down and others are getting auctioned. Imagine that the money seen in some of these businesses are bank loans, and worse too from loan sharks. Neither banks nor sharks will wait, so a delay has banks and sharks recovering their money via assets you had earlier, and the banks are currently loaning the government and not wananchi. Unless one is returning with an external source, the environment is not great to sustain a returnee. That's Tony Shira saying that. And then Stephen JJ anasema hapo ni ukweli, they want to eat you alive. That's why I always seek second, third and fourth opinions. Stephen Bati Sambaza podcast anasema this series hit home walai, and I'm with Mika 50-50 deal. My wife is from here and we have agreed it will favor us, but we shall see. Now I think the most important thing is that you have to prioritize your family first. Like before you go on any romantic narratives, you have to prioritize your family first. Kama una watoto wadogo, and like what Paul Waithaka was saying here, if you have kids, you really have to think hard. And then the transition, like from, I know we talked about like when you move back to Kenya, you also have to transition, like the way you transitioned when you first came here. But the difference between the transition when you first came here, you might have been 20. You might have been 19 years old. That's a very easy transition to make when you're young. You have no responsibilities, and you don't have, like certain farm values developed. When you're in your 40s and you're moving, that's a very difficult move to make.
But Ali,
Yeah.
when you're talking about your kids, if they're of age, what discussions are you having with them pertaining to stuff that you have in Kenya? Remember when you had Rema over here?
Yes.
That is a conversation that you need to have with your kids. In terms of...
That's a big one. First of all, like...
Because remember that other.
Yeah, if you have
Yes.
kids, whenever you're procuring assets, you have to have them in mind. Like...
That's exactly what I was talking about.
If something were to happen to me, how easy will it be for my kids to be able to access these assets? Otherwise... like your assets, the ones that you have in a very far place that your kids who've never been to Kenya or rarely go to Kenya don't have access to, there's other people who are gonna eat.
But more so, how much involved have you involved your kids in your assets in Kenya? Forget here, the US or Canada or whatever.
Yeah.
But in Kenya,
Yes.
how much involved do they know
Yeah.
that mukona land hapa?
Yeah.
And we're not talking about when they are 19, 25, 27.
Yeah.
We're talking about since they were
young.
9.
Yes.
Yeah, carry on.
So that's very important. Again, the number to call is 202-683-4570. Press *5 to speak. This is just a recap from the past.
Recap is a whole show.
Yes, it's a whole show in itself. It's not really a recap, it's lessons learned. And we want to hear from you.
It's a continuation of the conversation.
Yes, so want to hear from you what you got.
Arudishe simu.
Like, and then there were some very sharp comments that also came, like on Facebook and also on YouTube. And I guess the algorithm has gone far and wide because we're getting comments from people in Kenya, and I like the variation
And
of
Ethiopia.
comments because it's getting different perspectives. Now, the other thing that we learned before we lose this is that the hardest thing is neither moving back nor the money part, but it's the integration. That's what I got from Ruth's conversation, because there's always a focus on the move and the money, and it's always assumed that once you've figured the move and the money, things are gonna just work.
You'll integrate.
What people forget is that you're culturally maybe
Agreed.
Kenyan,
100%.
but behaviorally you are totally American.
You're disconnected.
Yes.
1000% at
You're
least.
disconnected.
Do you know,
1000.
do you know, Mika, before you come in, do you know one American behavior that I did not even realize it's an American thing, but it started now hitting me that, like this is something that you acquired based on you living in America all those years. Sibu. In Kenya, talking on the phone is a very normal thing. When you call people, in fact, you're more likely to get a phone picked up than to have a text responded. That's I learned that the hard way. When I was back in Malindi, and we were, I'm coming with my for our school, I'm coming with my American marketing skills. Like apana, we have to email these people, we should text them, nikambwa tu pole pole, with the guy who's out there, helping us with marketing. Akanambia, oh, by the way, uku, cause me calling people, I found it intrusive, but it's a very normal thing to call people in
Yes.
Kenya.
Yes.
Na
it
sasa,
is.
na sasa
Personal, you're
mimi,
touching them.
yes. Sasa mimi problem yangu, mimi am one of those people where you should, I always tell people, you should ask yourself before you call me, can this be said via text? And if the answer is yes, please do not call me.
And that is usually
Karibu
a
ndio.
problem on the
Wewe
one mic
unapenda
show with
kutype.
this guy.
Eh?
Oh, sorry, my
Wewe
bad.
unapenda kutype, shida yako ni unapenda
Yes, please do not call me.
Hey,
Kama
hiyo
kama
ni
unaweza
nani problem, not
kama
a
unaweza
African problem.
mi unajua ile kitu waina nini mimi like with phones, because ukinipigia my expectation
Hautatoka kwa simu.
no hapana, but lakini my expectation ukinipigia ni wewe umenipigia, anza story.
Yes.
So mi ukinipigia there's 5 seconds ile hello and then ati kuna pause, you're waiting me to say something. No, state your case within 5 seconds. If you've not said why we are spending the next 2 minutes on the phone,
Na unajua nini?
Mi
Wala
wanakata
kama-
simu.
unajua-
This guy.
mi najua watu wawili siwezi pigia kama sina time. Huo ni Ali na Omosh. Sana sana Omosh. Ukiwapigia kama una time, shauri yako. Jua tokage kwa simu. But ni kweli. But then again, Ali, you mentioned
I don't
something
mind
Yes.
talking
on
to
the
him if he calls.
Yeah.
on the integration part, right?
yeah.
And you remember those times I used to go home, nakaa mpaka nachoka ndo narudi.
Correct, yes.
I used to miss America.
Why?
Why are you missing America?
I'm not even missing it in the hustle of America. I just miss like the fish. Kwenda restaurant tunakaa in 2 minutes, mwongelesha
gotcha.
umefanywa nini, vitu zimefanyika. Like if I go somewhere for some, like privacy, vitu ndogo ndogo. Unajua privacy, ile privacy.
Yes.
Unajua America privacy, like ukikuwa kwa simu hata mahali in public, watu wanakuachia space kadogo, like kuna vitu ndogo ndogo, and you come and look at it. Unaweza kusema tumezoeana na watu, labda si kuzoeana, like aujazoea tu kuishi hivi. So there's that, and then that small integration, most people don't even consider it because they think it's just like ati mi ni Mkenya nitazoea na nini, but hizo vitu ndogo ndogo come and they pile up and they become a frustration. And then upate saa hiyo labda you are chasing somebody, something, it's a deal, it's work, you are trying to finish your mjengo, you're doing nini, it all boils into something and you start hating the place and the people.
Wow. Okay.
But shida ni hiyo integration, au just like you part ya kuintegrate, like it's, you'll go to Kenya, you'll find the best, you'll find better restaurants than DC restaurants. In terms of matengenezwa, ambience, menu, you'll find them huko. Lakini atmosphere
Iko different.
si ya DC.
Yeah. iko
hapo
different.
ndo utapata hiyo yeah, hapo ndo pale una spend hiyo 300 400 DC una feel ni worth it.
Okay. And I think we have we have a call again. The
We
number
do?
to call
Excellent.
is 202-683-4570. Press *5 to speak. Uno mic.
Welcome to the One Mic Show.
Name and where you're
hello,
calling
Magic.
from.
Yeah, tell us your name and where you're
so-
calling from.
Johnny, I was Johnny K. Nick Apple on YouTube. Johnny K from Texas.
Oh, Johnny K,
okay.
talk to us.
Asante, karibu msee wa Texas.
Thanks, manze. Really, really glad niliwapata, manze.
Asante. Go ahead.
So,
Go ahead.
first of all, love the show. Now, the most mnaongea ni to literally saizi na for the past year and a half nakuwa nikithink kurudi home kubaki hapa, but venye nani alisema, I forgot his name.
Victor.
6 months here, 6 months there.
Oh,
I
Mika.
think ndo
Yeah.
kitu ndafanya.
Mm-hmm.
I love both places na pia kuna nachukia both places, so hizi pata zote mbili in the same same spot, but I think 6 months here, 6 months there, that works well. So the only downside ni sorry a job. So me niko finance or investments, right? So now I care hedge fund. So siwezi do job yenye na do hapa huko.
Okay.
Can you do it remotely?
Speed.
Unajua nini Johnny?
Yeah.
Wacha kuza swali.
Hello, unasikia?
Vile umosha muuliza, unaweza do job remotely na hata remotely. Unajua hii 6 months, sasa uipige 6 months, 6 months. Unaweza ipiga 333.
Yeah,
Unaona?
333. So nini? Sisi do remotely juu awakia pia state. Unajua? So kuna
Okay.
legally.
Okay.
Ni kijia taxes pia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, ndo nakwambia sasa fanya hivi. Kama unaweza do remotely na unakwenda kwa international. Usiseme umehama. Wewe fanya hivi. Enda mtaani chukua hao. Equip hao yako na internet fiti. Equip hao yako na internet fiti. Ka apartment kako kazuri. Uweke internet fiti, uweke battery backups. Uweke battery backup ndo steam ikilost uko na stima. Uweke hiyo backup na internet fiti uko na place ya kudu job. Alafu hao yako ya huku usiachilie pia. Kama ni apartment ya huko kona usiachilie nini. Alafu kitu fanye, ende ya BNB ufungue ya BNB. Siku hilo kwa Nairobi, unaweka nyumba ya Amerika ya BNB. Siku hilo kwa Amerika, unaweka nyumba ya Nairobi ya BNB.
Okay, Johnny.
Nilikuwa home November. Literally, I was thinking the same thing. Kuna some apartments nenda kuangalia hapo after airport, after JKIA, after bypass. Nimesahau some really nice apartments.
Mlolongo.
Nenda na bro. Asi Mlolongo.
No.
What's that area called? Hapo
Hiyo
tu
ni
park, bypass airport, JKIA, unaweza nata airport toka hapo.
Yeah.
Nimesahau hiyo area. Hapo ni Mombasa Road. Really nice apartments mazee. Wasa wamejenga fiti sana. And I was thinking the same thing. When I was, I think, 10 million Kenya shillings, that's around 3 bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Nikathink, niko na manzi hapa nikichukulia, niko na hii. Because it's cheaper than getting one in Westland. Mimi sioni haja ya Westland, or I'd rather just stay outskirts.
Mm-hmm.
It's cheaper, bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Na, I mean, ni 20 minutes kufika tao. Kwani kuna nini? So I was really thinking of the same thing. Hapa sijabai keja. I prefer to rent. Because najenga mtaani pia.
Okay.
So nini, do yangu most tuma mtaani, land nini, zaanza kujenga land tu fulani hapo nichukulia. Na vitu za masako, you know, I'm trying to nilikuwa linked up na my mom's friend. Ananiambia wewe, hebu join sako, acha ufala. So nikaanza kufanya kitu. And by the way, I was skeptical,
Yeah.
I was skeptical. Mpaka pale dividends ziliingia za sako juzi. Nikasema okay, sasa wataemuka macho.
Okay.
So ni dividends gani? Ni zile munapewa at the end of the year ama ni ile munaeka do and then you collect at a certain point?
End of the year. So,
End of the year.
got my first at the end of last month. So I deposit for account juicy.
Okay. Na Johnny, umekaa Texas huko, ni wapi Texas huko, Dallas ama Houston?
Niko Austin.
Oh, ni Austin, sorry. Umekuwa Austin for how long?
Nilikam 2010.
Okay.
2010 nilikam.
Okay.
That's a decent time.
Okay, so umechapa karibu 16 years.
That's a decent time.
Ni 16. God damn. Wow.
Yes. Ulikuwa unafanya hiyo Gidafu?
You are not calculating. You are not calculating.
Well, we've done it for you.
Boss.
We've done it for you. 16 years. Boss, umekuwa Muamerika.
No. Ali amekufanyia hiyo hesabu. Si wewe. Ali ndio amekufanyia hiyo hesabu.
Boss, umekuwa Muamerika. You are an American sasa.
You guys have messed his madafos. You know, in his head, he knew.
Yeah, no, ameka mtu juicy.
No, he knew it was 10 years. He knew it was 10 years in his head. You messed it up.
Alikuwa na John bado yuko fresh.
No, yeah.
Fresh off the boat. FOB.
He's under 20 years and he has not gone beyond 10.
Yeah.
You see?
Okay.
He's under 20.
Bado yuko kwa hiyo.
So Ali amemchapa na reality.
But he's closer to 20.
Amechapa na reality. By the way,
mzee, make sure umebook ticket ya kwenda Reggae Fest. Reggae Fest ina happen ni Dallas. Nasikia watu wanatoka Austin, wanatoka wote watakuwa wanaenda Dallas next week.
Kama kona ruhusa. Yeah,
kama uko na ruhusa lakini.
Jobonga easy. Jobonga Monday to Friday.
Hiyo si visa tunasema.
We're not about job.
That's not the visa we are discussing.
Yeah, wife. Mimi nika daughter ndio nayo. Wife, madam iko sawa. Iko sawa.
Unasikia vile
No,
ako sawa.
Ako sawa.
Ako on the spot.
He's okay.
Kabisa sio mimi.
He's okay.
Yeah. Lakini Johnny, unaona umepiga miaka 16. Kwa hivyo wewe umekuwa, wewe ni Muamerika sasa.
Yes.
Wewe unatosha kuitwa samabani vizuri sana.
I think he passed that stage at year 8.
I think the first age who count nilikuwa chuo, me hustle, joboka sita, so I think that period
ilipita.
Mind ilitapa blank.
Mnamtraumatize.
He never thought that. I think even
mnamtraumatize.
I think maybe he's lived here almost longer than Kenya. I think Kenya akiongeza tu miaka 3. That's it.
Yeah.
Kenya nilitoka nikiwa 22. Nilikuwa na jobo.
You can't even
You
talk.
see? That's why I told you. Akiongeza tu a loose.
Almost aliingia hapa akiwa 16. So please tuheshimiane.
No, but maze
1952.
Maze Johnny, hiyo story yako pia ni poa sana. You know, glad umetufind kwa hii algorithm. And make sure una tune in, you know, like watu wengine Austin tunajua watu wengi sana huko. You know, watumie hii show, waambie waangalie na wafikirie kama wanataka kubaki hapa ama kama wanataka kurudi 254.
Niko na swali Johnny. Hiyo keja una build. Ulisema ati ni land sasa and then I guess utaanza kusakanya building materials. Nauliza in case iko Ocha ama iko city or it's in between?
Iko hapo Kisumu City hapo Ria hapo hill. Prime land nyingine
poa sana. Okay. So unajua Ali waga nasemaga hizo waga zinaitwaga what Ali?
Hapana, we wacha Johnny build.
No, kwa sababu unajua Johnny ashaelewa hizo. But then in your case, once you finish that, you would see that would be your permanent home. You're not expecting and or thinking to live in Nairobi. Ama itakuwa ya Ocha.
I think Nairobi bado tuko na keja yetu ya Dono hapo Greenfield. So
okay.
You think bado ni ya family, unajua. So we already have that. So ni haja kubai keja nyingine na hii.
Okay.
Na tuko na hiyo family home. Na sisi wamemove, so ni mbuyu na sisi ndogo pekee ndo kwa hapo.
Okay. So uko na options ukiwa na hii.
So niko na options nikiwa na hii. That's the advantage niko nayo.
Okay. Hiyo poa.
But eventually still maybe ka 2-bedroom apartment in Nairobi. Just for the city.
Yeah.
In case nipeleke daughter, nikana na daughter.
Yes.
Nikimshow around June July.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Is that going to be her first time back?
Second time. When? 2 years ago.
How old is she?
I was like 8.
I'm not 10 this year.
Boss.
Nice.
It should be every year. It should be every year ndio
Nice,
ajue
nice.
at least ajue home na
The connect.
yeah lazima it
like
has to be
can do it.
career.
Lakini sasa wewe utakuwa na
So she
maskan
can be
tatu. Utakuwa Austin, Nairobi na Kisumu.
Kisumu, yeah.
Sasa hata hizo 6 months juu utakuwa unazidi.
as long as Toto baby girl anajua mimi niko grounded hapa niko grounded na settle, because I think there are very many people who don't understand in as much as and if you remember when Rema was here, how first generation kids here from African parents, they get, for lack of a word, they get bullied a lot.
Yes.
But those ones who have structure and make sure you cement that structure to where these kids understand, believe, and are proud and appreciate where wametoka. And by the way, this is nilikuwa nimepeleka Nemo soccer. One of her teammates saw my bracelet, this one, ya Kenya. I said, oh, by the way, I see so many people with that. What is that? I'm like, yeah, that's a Kenyan flag, whatever. Yeah, there's so many people who have that, whatever. There's this girl who has it. I'm like, yeah, that is a Kenyan flag and everything, and we're proud of it. This is a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
You cement that with your children, boss.
Yeah.
You're good.
Iko solid.
Yes.
Johnny
K.
Johnny
I
K.
think one of the proud things zenye niko ni hiyo bambika hapo. Yose maona go kala sen nenda solo. Alijump by the way, nilienda November alikuwa chuo. He was really mad. I think anakuambia.
Utajui.
Akamejamba juu nilienda bila yeye.
Okay.
Peleka kasichana ndio unajua father daughter.
Sawa Johnny K, tuko na contact yako.
Sawa baba.
Tutakureach pia. You know,
1901.
because easy diverse
1901.
Yeah. Easy diverse
Sawa
stories. We like them. Thank you so much. So yeah, so algorithm.
It is. Let me tell you, it works. You know, there's a lot of people, even our age. When I say our age, I'm talking about 40s, 50s. Okay, 39, 38. Omosh, ako 75. But like that age. And there's a lot of moving back home, relocating. But the challenges.
Yeah.
Also, there's the thought, just like Johnny told us.
Yes, there's a thought.
Where now he's actively really thinking, considering, and trying to figure out how is it that I'm actually going to be able to do this?
Yes.
Like what does that concept look like? What's you know, I go enough naenda hivi, but now I want to see how to balance.
And what Ali was talking about in terms of there's the state perspective.
Yes.
Then there's the outside state perspective. So
yes,
Canada,
absolutely. Yeah.
Brito,
and
every other country out there. And that's a conversation that we need to have if we can get somebody from
probably
Brito,
Australia
whatever, Australia. Like, what are those guys that entity is thinking?
I think this Teto perspective, it was never there, you know, like, but after Trump, you know, like came in round 2, round 1, you know, like people, there was already that antsy feeling. But when it came round 2, I think people were very sure. You know, like Ukus Teto, you know, like
it's a wrap.
Yes, it's a wrap. Yes. I don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
So I think this idea is more popular out here in the States because at Whiskey now to Australia, I mean, of course, there's quite a chunk of Kenyan population there.
Quite a bit, yes.
You know, like not as big as the US, but this movement you're moving back, I think it's important we understand that it's an American thing. And we don't know, you know, like things might change. Remember, you know,
and we're willing to be corrected by people who don't, if you live in Canada, Sweden, Netherlands, Germany, France.
Remember people who left Kenya when Moi was still president.
Yes.
It was, we are gone, tumeenda. You know, like because of what Kenya was.
That was us.
And then when Kibaki, that was,
No. Omosh left when it was Jomo Kenyatta.
I think it was Jomo Kenyatta and Omosh left. But I think when Kibaki came in, there was a lot of optimism in going back home.
Yes, 100%.
A lot of people went back home, and I think there was also some opportunities at that time that people who came from here went and got. I remember there was a diaspora conference where actually Kenyans got recruited to go work in Kenya. They were recruited from here in the US. That's very rare, like after. So I think that movement, like continued until when Uhuru came in kidogo, and then at some point it kind of stopped.
Yeah.
It kind of stopped, and then with Kasongo, with
even
a lot
say
of
his name.
discouragement.
Don't even
So
say
hopefully next year, because it's an election year, things might change and people might see things differently.
Uko kadi?
Eh?
Uko kadi?
Mi nimekuwa kadi. By the way, unajua kama ulichukua voters card yako before the 2013 election? Guess what?
You're out of that.
You're out.
Ile kitu
And that's
what
a
are they doing?
big number of
What
people.
are they doing that thing again? Inaitwaje?
I don't know that it's called purging.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
purging
Constitutionally, they have to do it every 10 years, is it?
Yes.
They're supposed to do it every 10?
I thought it was every 10.
Constitutionally, they're
Or is it every...
constitutionally they're even supposed to do boundary delineation. It's already
Every 10
expired.
years. They haven't done that.
It's expired. It's supposed to be every, like within
Kasongo,
every 12
Kasongo
years,
is
I think.
Kasongo is trying his
Yes,
thing.
this election is already being rigged.
Like a nonsense.
Yeah, but I don't know. Ulikuwa umesema kulikuwa na kola mwingine?
No, there's no color. I was just
okay.
saying,
Yeah. So let me go through some comments here. Like nani Shirondula ameandika incha moja refu but ndaisoma.
Why can't he call
Ron
this
Fuasi
guy?
anasema well said. Stephen Bati anasema sio kimao. And then Stephen JJ anasema Johnny ako in denial. Alafu hapa Victor Uma anasema wanahepa Trump. Which is true.
Yes,
Like
there's a lot of people who
Yeah.
actually, when you have, especially if you're trying to bring up a black male in this country
Yeah.
now, as a either a black parent or whatever. Anyway, you are just
Yeah.
immigrants,
I'm
whatever.
sorry, Nick
It's-
Cannon thinks different.
It's very, a lot of them feel very unsafe for their kids.
yes.
So they want a different background.
They want a different
place they can take
environment.
them to.
Yeah.
Not Nick Cannon. Carry on.
So
It's
apa
okay. He's
another thing about moving to Kenya is that you also have to understand the social hierarchy. Kenya is a very class-oriented society,
Yes.
classist society. So you have to understand that.
You don't have to obey it, but just
Yeah.
know.
But you have to understand it.
Understand it.
Unajua the way
Period.
the way apa like my company's CEO can come to my office and we chat for like 30 minutes.
Yes.
Story too. So in Kenya, you have to understand that things are different, and there's a certain social hierarchy. There's certain things that you'll see uncomfortable. You might feel uncomfortable about very simple things kama ile kumuita mtu kuja hapa, hello chief. Yeah, so sometimes you might look at that
Agreed.
but you have to understand that's just how things are over there. In America, we are on another level. There's a lot of sensitivity. There's a lot of sanitization of words to make like a waiter anaitwa server. Like a jail is called a correctional facility. Yeah, there's a lot of an old person, mtu mzee anaitwa senior citizen. Yeah. So like there's certain things, certain
Yes.
lingo that you're gonna utasikia
You have
back
to
home.
adjust. Yeah.
You just have to adjust.
Adjust to that.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, and then easy vitu like unajua hapa real quick you'll be told you have this phobia or that phobia. In Kenya, like there's a certain way in which people talk about things
It's
and
direct
use
injection.
language.
And by the way, don't even go far.
Direct injection.
Your boss, mkubwa,
Yeah.
munene, sends an email. Hi Ali. Hey. Hey, this.
Titles.
No. Yeah. Sir, how do you respond to that?
Yeah. No, you
Some
see,
like-
yeah,
So, like some of us, be like, hey, professor.
yeah,
You're being called by your first name, highly.
yeah,
And, some of them will tell you, please don't even bother with that. Just call me French, just call me Ali or just call me Cecil.
yeah,
And this is the department head,
yeah.
Sonko. Yeah.
So you have to understand that when
yeah.
you're going back home, you're completely
you have
entering
to you
a
have
new
to
system.
yes you have to integrate yourself into that system,
Yeah,
and it behooves you, and that's what I was saying, I think, earlier on, where if you are able to manage to enda nyumbani, by all means.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Then the other thing, like there was of course the money myth of where is Kenya cheaper, and before we go to that, I think we have another caller. Again, the number to call is 202-683-4570. Press *5 to speak. Let's hear from the caller.
Thank you for calling.
Then the other thing.
Thank you for calling the One Mic Show. 2302. Name and where you're calling from.
Welcome to the One Mic Show.
Yeah. Kimani,
Karibu Kimani.
Arizona.
Okay, Kimani from Arizona. Nice.
Hey, after
Okay.
your time, right now, I think it's almost 7 p.m.
Yeah.
This is the right time, by the way.
Okay.
Out to Arizona yawa.
Aya, Kimani, talk to us from Arizona.
I think there's a big misconception we make when we say we're going back.
Mm-hmm.
My experience having tried that going back business sums it up as going back suggests you're going to some familiarity.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to something you know something about.
Mm-hmm.
I think this notion of being here 20 years and then you go, you're not going back. You just say you're going somewhere, and it's a strange land and a strange customs and a strange place. And whatever you find, you'll try to make work. So when you say you're going back, it's like it's so familiar that it's something you've done before. You haven't. Guys are talking about coming out here when you didn't stomach in Kenya, you were fresh out of high school. What are you going back to? You're not going back to your mom's house. Now you're a grown-ass man, got family, got responsibilities, got bills to pay. It's a different story. You're not going back. Just say it's like you thought of somewhere to go live, Vietnam, and you're going to Vietnam, and you're going to hustle, and you're trying to make it work. But going back, that's zero. It's not happening. It's not going back. It's going out into the wild, and you hope for the best. The 50-50 idea, best thing ever. Let's put it this way. I was in the U.S. for 22 years.
Mm-hmm.
Then got laid off, took a year off, and always thought that with my experience, my knowledge, my whatever, I can go and add value. So decided to go look for a gig, went down, family enjoyed holiday. At the end of the holiday, it didn't look like the move was going to happen. So the idea was to come back and locate somewhere else and make things happen. But that lifestyle of home kind of lulls you into some comfort levels. The maid, the conveniences, the catching up with old friends. It feels like an extended holiday, which is very bad. Then you lose focus on, hey, we're here to try and make something happen. But then you get comfortable and you say, you know what the hell? Give it a shot. Lucky for me, I got a gig. I started making things happen and contracts. Slowly start understanding this thing is even called contracts. In Kenya, don't mean anything. After you have an employment contract and it's going to be for a few years, boss. 9 months in, the boss has been paying you. You're now about to come to some big money because you're on some serious commission plan. The guy says, he wants all the money. He can close the division, get rid of you, reopen, and the next project and bring in some other guys. Suddenly, full force into something you'd never expected. Another thing someone said was, when guys look at going back, think of it in terms of, when you came to Stato, and I think someone also said this, when you came to Stato, it was just you. You were 19, 18, 20, whatever. But it was just you. when you go back and you've got family, and then you've even got young ones, what did Paul Ilaka say? 500,000 for
School
For
fees.
school fees for
For
two
two
that's a
kids.
hard reality, man.
Yeah, a term.
That's a term. That's a hard reality. Those costs hit hard. The other thing is, because we don't operate on contracts that mean anything, you'll do work. The payment part of that work you've done is up in the air. It might happen. It might happen later. Or you might have to go bribe someone in that institution so that you can get paid what you're owed.
Wow.
Things are different, man. Things are thick. When guys say going back, I say, no, don't call it going back. Just say you're going to Kenya. Then whatever you find there, you're going to try and make it work. But it's not familiar at all. Everything is funky. Another thing someone said that was interesting was, take care of, maid, parties, we play golf, whatever. Yeah, you can do that. But let me tell you, your golf balls will still go missing. There'll be tools in your golf bag which will go missing. There'll be things in your house that will go missing. But you're still taking care of these people, and you're very honest about it. Yeah, let's say the market rate is 8,000 or something, you're paying 10. But that person does not look at longevity. They look at it as, I got to do something now because I don't know how much longer this is going to last.
Very true.
Yes.
Yes.
Things are hitting you left, right, and center. The guy at the Kashamba is selling your chicken feed, he's selling water, he's selling your chicken
Wallahi
eggs, the whole
billahi.
nine
Yes, 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 yes. That is
yards.
true.
You go there and you fired the guy. Some kiddo comes over telling you, nimetumwa nichukue kuku tano. You're like, why? Oh, si tunakujanga hapa kununua kuku. Like, man. No, we are not going back. We are going into the wild. Just expect anything and just go with the flow. And was it what you were saying, some of us had the ability to come back. But if you're going and you're trying to put in an honest effort to make it happen,
Yes.
then you're going to ignore the fact that you can come back. Because then you'll always have one leg in, one leg out. So me, I'd totally forgotten I have a blue passport. It was out of my mind. In fact, my family who were still in the States at the time thought I must have sold it or something. Because there's no way you can be still enduring what you're enduring and you have the ability to come back. Like with most things, I'm in the finance business. We have timelines as to when you do things, whether it's quarter end, 6 month, year end, meaning. Kenya had been given a 5-year period to work or not work. When that period reached the 5-year mark, I renewed the passport and we were out of country in less than 3 weeks. Waidaka said that he left the school just like that. He didn't do it.
Yes.
That's how we left. Nyumba, vitu, nini, what a issue. Because at some point you have to be very disciplined to say, it doesn't work. And the longer you try to keep this going, the more you're adjusting to the lie. Because Kenya always looks like that check is about to come. That contract is about to pay. Then in fact, you need to borrow some money because it's coming. Wapi? Where? Never.
Now, Kimani, let me ask a controversial question here. You watched the interviews that we did with Ruth, who just spent 2025, so fairly fresh for a returnee. So would you say, and you hit the 5-year mark, would you say, a 1-year returnee, she did mention quite a number of challenges that she experienced, but would you say that that's still a honeymoon phase for a returnee and things will start looking different after you hit year 3, year 4? Or is everybody's different? Is everybody's experience different? Kimani?
The honeymoon phase will last as long as what took you there still holds. If you had a gig from IBM and you went there, and IBM is still employing you for 5 years and you're being paid your dollar salary, you're in a honeymoon phase forever.
Yes, okay.
Reality checks in when that stops and now you have to find a replacement. Hey, my friend, for 9 months, life was great. Me, I was living the life. Tuesdays, Kojazba, life was good.
Allah.
It's when that thought that now you are looking for, how do I still make things happen? That's when you seriously face challenges you never even thought.
Where?
So Kimani, would you advise somebody who goes home, just like we always see that our folks who are at home have multiple sources or streams of income, as in you have your regular job, you have M-Pesa, you have
a kahaso.
you have onions you're growing somewhere, you might have a couple of kibandas over there. Then, Yani, would you advise somebody to, basically set it up just like the locals, ama when they do nako kachek kako, assuming you've got that dollar job?
You have no choice but to diversify, man. It's brutal. It's brutal. You have to have at least 3 sources of income.
How many?
And it's not because, let's say, we are lazy here that we depend on 3 sources of income.
Okay.
3. Oh, shit.
It's not that we are lazy here when we do one gig and that gig takes care of everything. Huko ukienda, part 1 hiyo imechelewa, utalipwa next month, sijui kulikuwa na kasoro wapi. Part 2, sijui nini. You have to diversify. And I had another buddy who died, an elderly gentleman. He used to say, returning to Kenya requires like a 5-year phase of, getting prepared to go to Kenya. Phase 1, buy an income generating flat or something. Year 2, buy another income generating. Year 3, build in shags. Year 4, start preparing where you're going to stay in Nairobi. That's where you're going to be living. Year 5, put all your stuff in a container and go, so that you're not going there to start expenses of buying things, fridges, kadalika. That's a 5-year process. If you're lucky and you've got those additional 2 sources of income, some flat somewhere and whatever, you're much better off in trying to adjust to the realities. Because, it's wild, wild west. We ain't going back. It's not something we know. And it's not something we're prepared for. And it's not something we dreamed that it's better than what it should be. It's just that we've come to accept that things operate in a certain way that has logic and meaning. Throw all that out the window. Just go there and just know this is boot camp.
Wow. I mean,
Umesikia Ali?
that is
Huyu Kimani
next to Nyayo Stadium.
Huyu Kimani, we need to have him on the show. Kama atakubali.
Kimani, hizo namba zote tunazichukua because we want to have
2320.
Kimani, we want to have
we want to have a candid conversation because
there's what prompted this from the beginning is that there's a lot of romanticism surrounding this, and we wanted to open up the lead because there's always another side of the story. Like to have the reality, but what we are getting is well beyond what we expected, and we really thank you for coming in and laying this down, because I think
it's always important
need to hear this.
It's always important for somebody who has been there.
He went with kids. So
yes,
I guess I wonder if he didn't go with his kids, would he have come back?
Because remember, when the last time we had, somebody said there's a difference between somebody who's going and working from Kenya vis-a-vis somebody who's retiring in Kenya.
In Kenya, that's a different situation.
That's a different situation.
Yeah.
But again, it still matters because you have to prepare. Like if you're retiring in Kenya, you have to be prepared. If you're going to Kenya, there's a way you need to be prepared to know exactly, because you can't just go and you think that whatever you're living, you're doing here, and you just copy paste.
We'll translate.
Yeah, we'll translate.
No, it's different.
In fact, Kimani, like before we let you go, one thing that you said, and I know you just said it passively, but I think needs to be framed. And I will go back and I'll be referring to that for many years to come. The honeymoon phase.
Yes.
The honeymoon phase will last for as long as what took you there still holds. That right there, it hit me in so many different ways.
Because
people go there with a certain thing that's taking them there.
100.
Yeah, it could be, like a remote job. It could be
Yes.
something. For as long as that still holds, you'll still be in a honeymoon phase, even 7 years later. But the moment,
Inaenda.
the fat lady sings,
It's a wrap.
hapo ndo
Wewe
everything
nje.
falls apart. Kama Chinua Achebe. Give us your last word, Kimani.
You guys are doing a great job, and I wish this was available in 2013. I think it was Alice was talking about.
Yeah.
See, that's when I went there, but
Eh?
2013 is when I went.
Okay.
So I didn't have this prep, but what I do know is, since 2002, the idea of working and living in Kenya and contributing had always been like a dream. It's somewhere in the back of my mind. And Ali mentioned there used to be guys who used to recruit. And I'm trying to remember the name of that organization. But they'd have job fairs in places like London or Joburg or something.
Yeah.
And I have friends who went to the interviews in London. And you'd have Coke, Barclays, Standard Chartered, all these guys.
General
multinational,
Electric.
Who are doing business in Kenya.
Was that the kid?
Yeah,
So-
the conference that used to come.
The Diaspora Conference.
Diaspora
thing.
Conference.
I don't know whether that was the one.
I don't think that's the one.
Yeah.
Because that was specific to
That was
Stato.
DC, yeah.
That was DC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
not what this guy was experiencing.
This was
Sorry, go ahead.
proper recruiting. The intention
Okay.
was to recruit guys who are, let's say, African-born, whatever, looking to work in Africa.
Aha.
So I know guys who went through that process and ended up with jobs in Coke, whatever. And all those guys, that traumatic period, lived as long as, you are still employed by Coke or whoever. You work for Coke. I mean, you guys you're going to be doing things like a club membership at Karen, etc. All these things are catered for. So it's a great time to go back and you'll enjoy it. You'll be a expatriate, but you're a mwenyeji of some kind.
Correct.
So that's a whole different story. And those conferences, or rather that recruitment process ended because those multinationals stopped recruiting guys here. I got this from a guy who was a recruiter at Ernst & Young. And he said guys would come home and the company has spent so much. They've moved you from Stato. They've paid for all your stuff. You've gotten paid more than the Kenyan co-workers
Yes.
and benefits and all this. Then the inconveniences of no elec or water or whatever, and you guys decide 2 years later to come back. So the company is paying so much, and then the return never happens because guys have given up because there's potholes. So that story kind of started becoming the recruitment of guys from abroad started ending. Then the other thing is Kenyan universities were graduating so many students. So
Yes.
there was equal or comparable guys that could do what it is you're doing, and you're more expensive coming from abroad, and the expectations are all over. So then that kind of died down. So now you go there, you're hustling to compete with a guy who's homebred, who's been there, and who's got connects, serious connects. You connect because you grew up there, and then you left when you're 19. Hey, check on you. But you're doing an excellent job, and I'm loving the conversations. Some of the guys who've called in, some of the guys on the show, I know or bumped into in Kenya. We exchange notes, but there's a big group of guys who now realize, guys who are bitter. Me when I came, someone asked me to get on a show and talk about my experience. I couldn't. I was traumatized. That stuff was unreal. How do we come to America, succeed in a foreign land, as some 19, 18-year-old kids, and going back, in quotes, home, which is familiar, becomes tricky. How do you reconcile with that? So me, I just couldn't deal. I went back to Kenya in 2019 because I had gone for a funeral. Other than that, I have no desire whatsoever, even to visit.
Wow.
I look at it like visiting anywhere else in the world. Yeah. Nowadays, if I say vacation, I say, in terms of, do you want to go to Joburg, Jamaica, Kenya, Dubai? It's all in the same breath. The going back is something that provides a false narrative. So me, I look at it as, hey, could go to Fiji. It's the same thing to me.
Wow.
On retirement.
Wow.
Retirement is a great idea, but do it in phases. Yeah? First year, go there, stay 3 months. Next year, go there, stay 6 months. Just adjust gradually. That's the thing, but now we have to be frogs. Can't just jump out of here and go back there and then be thinking you're going to hit all the buckets. It will be a rude shock. So, yeah.
Kimani,
Kenya
Kimani, we need to have this conversation.
Where? Kimani.
No, please. Now, usiogope tafadhali. Are you ready to have a conversation about this?
No, but with Kimani, like now having this conversation and the way he's talking so confidently, it means that he's past that trauma phase. Because I know a thing or two about trauma. Whenever you're traumatized about something, you cannot talk about it. Even in a place where people are talking about it, utaki. But the way Kimani has just very confidently talked about it, you can tell that he's past that phase. Yuko sawa. That means
we'll do have a
atakuja kwa show.
Zoom.
Hiyo namba andika.
Niko nayo hapa.
Yeah.
So pengine nimpe kaploti nini Rusinga maybe anaweza
nothing.
2320.
Maybe just to visit as an Airbnb.
Lakini wewe ukitaka.
Wewe umesikia vile amesema yeye vile anaona Kenya ni kama vile anaona vacation Fiji. Ama vile anaona vacation anywhere else.
Anaenda narudi.
And I like this
kind of Rusinga si Kenya. Rusinga ni Rusinga.
Whatever you call it, but
boss,
to Kimani
you can decide, you can define it however you want.
Yes, you're still in the romantic phase. You are still in the romantic phase. Listen to Kimani.
Wow.
Listen to Kimani.
Yani, even if I had plans of working Kokoto, now I have withdrawn.
Withdraw the Kokoto very fast.
After what Kimani has said here.
Withdraw the Kokoto.
Hata ule mse wa simiti kesho nampigia.
Where I love the candidness, Kimani. Like I this is so profound. I don't think like in the years we've been doing the One Mic show, we've had like a guest, like a random calling like Kimani, who's been so succinct in explaining what he's explaining, so honest,
true,
and just so candid about it. So we really appreciate that, Kimani. I'm sure whatever you've said is gonna sink in to someone who's still in the romantic phase. Some of us are still there. Like
Almost was just chilling, by the way. Almost was just chilling.
Yeah.
Please. Leave him out
it's
of
a
this.
lived experience. That's why when you hear him speaking, it's inakuja kutoka roho.
Yes.
It's not like...
And you have to respect experience.
It's a lived experience. He can point you... He has the receipts and the invoices.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Kimani.
Asante sana. We appreciate it.
2320, we are reaching out.
Sema Kimani.
The last thing I'll say on this is...
Yes.
When guys talk about investments, we are a little bit vague about it or unrealistic. Investments require a return, and those things are not guaranteed in Kenya. You can buy an apartment or whatever. You say you're parking money somewhere. You just gotten like a bonus and you think you want to throw it to something. It might work, it might not. That's Kenya for you. I always think of investments in Kenya as some cab driver advised once in Vegas. The first time I went to Vegas, the guy said, when you're in your room and you come downstairs to gamble, come down with as much money as you're willing to lose. If that's 100 bob, fine. 200, fine. Me, Kenya is an investment opportunity given how much money I'm willing to lose. Because there are no guarantees.
Absolutely.
And the process of trying to go through claiming what is yours, man, that's a long shot. You're going to get exhausted. The system just doesn't allow for that. The costs are even worse. And if it's someone who's taken your Roy plot that you bought through Embakasi Ranching, it's just another joke. Those guys will live and kill you. Because, that's just how it is. And it's very cheap to get killed in Kenya. So you just go with money that, when it gets tricky, just say, okay, I thought I'd bought a plot, but sawa, naenda. Call it a day. Alas, gentlemen, please keep up the good work and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kimani.
Asante sana, bro.
By the way, just to let you know that Kimani has injected a subliminal message.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have another caller.
Okay. Okay, I didn't get the subliminal message, but...
In terms of, okay.
Yeah.
We'll go back.
Okay. But real quick before we go to the next caller, just wait for a minute there.
No, I haven't picked it up.
I mean, I'm still not over Kimani because you see the way I'm not over, I'm not over what he said because you see the way Ata Johnny K hapa amesema Kimani is cooking, learning from his experience kwanza in 5 faces. And then hapa Victor Uma anauliza, can I ask, will you guys go back? Sasa Victor Uma, you're asking us a question when you guys have been cooking for us the whole night. So I'm actually...
Yandi alianza by the way.
Kwanza-
Victor ndiye alianza.
Aliweka mafuta na
if
kitunguu.
we decide not to move, we are gonna blame Victor because yeye ndo alianza. But I liked what Victor started.
By the way, you're not moving because we are about to wrap up.
No, I know, but I like what Victor started.
I love it.
Because now we're getting a whole other different perspective.
Yes.
A whole other different angle.
yeah.
People scam kunji.
And
man.
the goal is to get all these angles. Mimi kwanza ile part imeni hit the most na Kimani ni hiyo hapo that your honeymoon phase will last for as long as what took you there still holds. Even 5 years.
Yes.
Even 7 years.
Even 10.
But when the music stops,
Aha.
when the fat lady sings,
Utajua ujui.
hapo ndo utajua
Aya,
ujui.
sasa ndio reality na hit.
Yes.
Yes.
Now another thing he said, me I think, huyu Kibani mi naona ni kama pia alitumwa. Alisema, getting someone to kill in Kenya is very cheap, which is very true. I
It
found
is.
out about this
It is.
and I was very shocked.
Bro.
Yeah.
Ali, you must have been traumatized.
2000
Knowing
Kenya
you.
shillings.
Knowing you must have been traumatized.
Mimi ile nilisikia ilikuwa ni 10K.
10K
Yeah.
is a lot.
Because I think there's a broker, there's, like, kuna ule mwenye anapokea 50K, kuna ule mwenye there's a broker to a broker to a broker, to the guy who has now actual contact with the people who are gonna make the hit. But hiyo ni story ya siku nyingine. I think we have a caller. Let's go to the next caller.
Aya.
Maybe he'll take us back to our romance.
0615. Thank you for calling the One Mic Show. Name and where you're calling from.
Welcome to the One Mic Show.
Hello.
Go ahead, just speak. We can hear you. Hello?
0615.
Ama, they didn't mean to have their name.
Mama, did you mute them?
No.
No, we can hear them. So you hear their name.
I haven't done anything.
Okay. All right.
0615.
Going
Going
once. Going twice.
615 or 312?
Uh-huh.
I have 615. 0615. The last four numbers.
The last four numbers.
Yes, but the first one is 312.
Yeah. Okay. That was a bit confused.
Hey, kwani ujui
Sasa
namba yako?
wewe nike meni.
Yeah, this person, but
Ujui namba yako?
By the way, I said, last four numbers 0615. Any key?
maybe
Okay.
you are speaking
Okay.
in
No, I think where you got
Pole.
traumatized. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yes.
I think, but
My name is Ronnie. I'm calling from Minneapolis.
Oh, Ronnie.
okay, Ronnie, karibu.
Ronnie, talk to us.
We don't get a lot of folks from Minneapolis.
Yes.
Asante
Welcome.
sana.
Yeah.
So I've been following you guys for, I can't believe, I think I stumbled upon this like 3 weeks ago, and I was so enamored. I was like, man, these guys have been talking about things that is just really close to my heart. So anyway, came to the US in 2010.
Okay.
Came with my wife. My son was 2 years old. Landed in Chicagoland. So the first time I went home was after 8 years. I think 2018.
Okay.
And it was, you guys are talking about this romanticized thing. It was fantastic because the American dollar, it goes so far. It was good, but there was something that happened at that time. We had a family meeting, and
Did we lose him?
Did we lose him?
Hold that thought.
Don't go away. Ron.
Don't go away, Ron.
Don't go
away,
away,
Ron.
Ron. Don't.
Hiyo story ilikuwa na panda.
Inapanda deadly. Hold on.
Yeah.
Aya.
Hold on. Okay, more than me.
Okay, Ronnie, just hold. We are trying to bring you back. Maybe tunaweza endelea.
No,
Yeah.
it's okay. Sorry.
You brought him back?
Here we go.
Okay. Ron, can you hear us?
Ronnie,
Ebu jaribu tena. Family meeting.
Ronnie, are you there? Hello.
Okay. Or maybe Ronnie needs to call back.
Volume
Or is it?
Volume ya nini?
No, iko sawa.
Okay. All right.
I think we lost him.
Oh, we lost him. Ronnie, call back.
Ronnie,
Man,
call back.
man, call back.
202-683-4570, press star 5 to speak. Hiyo story yako ilikuwa ina land.
Maze, kwanza in fact alikuwa shaanza kuchemsha hiyo mboga.
Yeah. So Ronnie, please call back. And I'm glad, like now different people.
He's back.
Okay, let's hear from Ronnie.
Pole sana. Ronnie, are you there? I don't think he's muted. He's not muted. He's
okay,
not
on your
muted.
end, check your volume on your side. Ronnie?
He should be there.
Okay.
What?
Okay. Maybe it's on Ronnie's side.
It's possible.
Okay. Yeah, sawa.
Possible. Yeah.
Like
Jaenda, I think he's trying to talk.
okay.
Is his hand raised or did you let him in?
No, he's inside. Akondani.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. In the meantime, then let me be reading some comments here as we're trying to and Ronnie, if you can
Just keep talking. I'm
just keep
gonna leave
talking.
I'm gonna leave the light open. So
Yeah.
you vibe.
Yeah. Just keep talking just in case we are able to get a connection with you.
We'll just
Yes.
pick it up quickly.
Yes. Again, the number to call is 202-683-4570. Press star 5 to speak. Quite a number of comments were coming in here. Let me see. Stephen JJ.
Not unless you're muted, Ronnie, but yeah, and I can see that you're trying to talk, but
Yeah, Ronnie. Ronnie, try to see if maybe your phone is accidentally muted.
No, but if it's muted, we wouldn't see the signal.
Oh, okay. I saw. Maybe it might be something on our side.
it looks like he's trying to talk, but I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Presentation. No.
Okay. Aya, sawa. Hapa Stephen JJ alikuwa anasema Johnny ako in denial. John Kwali anasema hapa ni Johnny K anasema maze yes, Kimau had forgotten. And then I see Johnny K anasema scarcity mindset, hakuna cha kesho, yote ni leo. I think this is regarding to how, like people can just turn you upside down sometimes in Kenya bila feelings. And then Tony Chirapa anasema Kimani didn't mention that he is forced to do for that check, what he's forced to do for that check to appear like it's coming. This is on the difficulty of getting paid after services in Kenya. And then Stephen JJ anasema reality check. Johnny K anasema true, I almost got lost driving on the same roads I grew up in and drove on. Nikasema ndachukua tu Uber from now on. That honeymoon phase is dangerous even on a 4-week vacation. Eshirandula anasema Kimani nailed it. Stephen JJ anasema Dekra zikae mazeo mosh. Sasa hizo sheng za Stephen JJ itabidi you translate. And then hapa Luis Mea anasema first 2 months was great.
Dekra is the roofing material. One of the most expensive. That's why he's saying, about building when I was talking about.
Ronnie, are you there?
Ronnie, are you there?
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Now we can hear you. Sorry.
There you go. Hey, mazi story yako ilikuwa imeanza kutake off. Yeah.
Maze, mitandao maze zileta muhadhara.
But turudi kwa story yako ulikuwa unasema you came in 2010 and then went to Kenya in 2018.
Yeah, so I was saying, so came to the US in 2010. My son was about 2 years old, and so it took about 8 years by the time you come back. And it was shocking because when I left Kenya, Kibaki was president. And so I think when I came back, Uhuru was president, and things were just becoming a little bit difficult. And, but anyway, the shock that we're talking about this romanticization of coming back home. And I was pleasantly surprised. Man, we forget about that good nature of Kenyans. People talk in a soft tone and Asante, Bariako. Me, I'm from the Midwest, up in Minneapolis. You go to a restaurant and you're tipping 20% for mediocre service because it's just what it is. So in Kenya, I was like, man, I had this. So at that time I was like, well, my wife and I were going to retire in Kenya. This is cool. Save up, Nini. So anyway, so during COVID, I happened to work with an NGO. We were doing food aid. And I don't know if you guys remember, during that time, COVID, there was a big drought in Kenya. So
yes,
opportune time, And so I happened to, so I was in charge of like the food aid that went to Africa. So I used to go travel in Africa, and the good vibes are there because you're thinking, this is my continent, and it was very different. But I remember one time, so it was in COVID, I think 2021. Yeah, it was 2021. And so a month in Kenya, I remember the lady who you guys interviewed last time, she talked about working from home. That was very interesting. So I was, about a month, I was working from home. And so it was so difficult. Number one, because I'm working for an NGO. And then, can you guys hear me? I can't hear you guys.
Yes,
yes,
we can hear you.
We can hear
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
So I'm working for an NGO, and then there's this security detail. They tell you, you know, we don't want you to be abducted. We don't want you to be kidnapped. There's a, you know, all these security alerts. I'm like, no, I'm a Kenyan. I know this place in and out. I was born in Nairobi. They're like, well, you have to live, you know, 10 miles within, get a hotel 10 miles within, you know, the U.S. Embassy and things like that. So I was based in Westie and thereabouts. But one thing that I did notice is because in the Midwest, 4 p.m. in Kenya is when people are waking up here. And so for 4 p.m. to midnight, you're working. Answering emails, calls, Zoom calls. It was crazy. And I was like, this is not fun. Because you're awake from 6 p.m., 6 a.m., 8 a.m., whatever. But from 4 p.m., so unafanya raundi zako asubuhi, unafanya raundi zako, then you have to rush home and do the Uber to be on your desk on your computer by 4. And that was really troubling. Because you're at home, but you're not on holiday, but you like being at home. And so my mind was like, and then lazima ujijali, because these people, they tend to, where are you now? Where are you? And you have to tell your boss, hey, but I'll not be in Nairobi. I'm going, you know, I'm going to Karatina, which is like, you know, 100 miles here, and you draw a Google map. So I was like, this is nonsense. I can't. So I told my boss, so I can't be working from 4 p.m. to midnight. It's my mind is anyway. That's number one. So working in Kenya is not fun in that aspect. It wasn't fun. You're at home, you're on holiday, but you're not on holiday. But the second thing that we went back in 2024 in December, and it was a good experience. We went with our toys. I have a teenager, he'll be in college in the fall and things like that, and I have a younger one. But and we were so excited. We sat at the bar, we were having a drink, and there was a lady, she was a Mwindi, but she's Kenyan, but she lives in the UK. And we told her, we're retiring here, we're high-fiving each other. She laughed at us. She looked at us and laughed. I said, what? She said, how old are your kids? They're like, yeah, he's 17. She's like, you wait, they'll be in college in a few years. We're like, yeah. She said, you know, you guys, after he goes to college, and then gets a job, and then gets married, let me tell you, you guys are not going to retire back home. You will stay in the U.S.
Wow.
And let me tell you guys, that we were jolted. Like, what? Because our kids were raising them here in the U.S. They're Americans. And this is what even the Wazungu fanya. Wazungu, you let your kids go to work, you go and babysit their children, your grandkids.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it hits me. And you dream ya kurudi Kenya, maybe it's a bit far-fetched. You want to support your kids. Unajua? So, either it was a kurudi home, I think tuliweka back burner. It's good to have an Airbnb, kununua land hapa na pale. But hiyo kitu ilitushangaza sana. So, that was just a reality check for us. So, just wanted to just give my 2 cents. But a good show, guys. You guys are doing a good thing.
Asante,
that previous caller, Kimani, he said it. I was a realtor in Kenya. I'm still a realtor here in Minneapolis. But when I look, people talk to me about real estate in Kenya. And when I do, nafanya madhafu.
It's not mathing.
The math is not mathing.
It's not mathing.
It's not mathing. Sometimes in mathing, unanunua kaplot hii amount in 4-5 years, maze 600%, unashinda we. So zingine unaangalia watu wamenunua Airbnb, unamuuliza bene, how much are you getting? Like, in Kilimani? What? How? Why should you? So what Kimani said, and I wrote this down, investments are vague. Nani pata pote, how much are you willing
to lose?
How much are you willing to lose? Kama imeenda. So Anyway, guys, that's my 2 cents. But good job, guys.
Asante sana, Ron.
Sana.
Asante sana.
That is 0615. By the way, when I say the last 4 numbers, please don't say the first 3 numbers. Nasikia wewe.
Ronnie, I say,
Wewe Ron umetuangusha buda.
it's best ujue namba yako.
Well,
Hata kama
nimejiangusha,
umeona-
pole.
Mazi umetuangusha kadhe. Ni kimen.
Yeah, pole for the technical.
Yeah,
Ni sawa.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Yeah.
Aya sawa kadhe.
Thank you so much.
But-
Now,
So,
yeah,
boss.
bubble has been burst.
So now-
Akinya Doyo anasema kamkunji ya busting our bubbles. Defrost kwanza. That is Akinya Doyo from Houston, Texas. Yeah. So
Here's the thing. I think also, you know what? So what we've had are guys who are anti.
yeah.
You know who we need? People who are pro. Because so far, tuko na Ronnie,
Mhm.
tuko na
Kuna Kimani,
Kimani,
there's Victor.
who are more or less anti.
Yeah. Now they've been very candid.
Yes.
They have no plans of going
Yes.
back.
Lakini, who we need is people who are pro going back.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think
and
I think the past 2 episodes we had a lot of pro. So I think this has also given a good balance.
no, most people were anti.
So there was okay.
Who was pro?
There wasn't, like a lot of callers per se. So the only caller was Paul Waithaka, who was anti.
Anti.
Yes.
Then add
Yeah.
Ronnie.
Mm-hmm.
Add the 2 call Ronnie, Victor na
Kimani.
Kimani.
Yeah.
Those are anti. We haven't had any pro.
Wow. Okay. So
We have not had any pro.
So any pro, please give us a call, 202-683-4570. And by pro, we don't mean romanticizers.
No, we're talking about practically somebody
People who have practical experience.
who already I know a few who are doing well, but
But you see,
my experience
but you see
is
when
different.
that
I want
doing-
somebody who can call in and say,
doing well becomes vague when you do not know, like why they are doing well. Are they from a rich family?
No.
Do they have some connection? Was
No.
there some connection they had? No, you
No.
don't know.
I know.
No, you don't.
I know.
You actually don't.
I
and
do.
and the reason why I say that, is because people.
I don't think that would matter.
People live selective. People will tell you selective stuff, and that's the other thing. There's a lot of selective stuff, and that's what has propped this romanticization narrative, whereby someone may be experiencing challenges, but they are not talking about it. Think about even the things that are being revealed here today. These are things that are generally not revealed.
right.
So that's why I would say, unless
But even
unless someone
even
comes in a public platform and tells us about their positive experience, ile tu ati you are my friend, we used to hang out here in Rockville, and now I see you doing well in Kenya.
Bui.
Yeah, or Bui,
Yeah.
and now you're doing well in Kenya.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that it was through your hard work and grit,
Right.
and the romanticization narrative is real.
right.
Yeah. So we've not had someone thus far.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'll say from the little knowledge that I know, this particular person that I know.
I like that you're saying little knowledge. I like that.
Yeah, little knowledge
Because
that
it's
I know.
little knowledge.
It's little knowledge in terms of, it's not at CG known, but it's not somebody who is going to come out here and say it. So the little knowledge is from what is not being advertised or whatever. But
Yeah.
what I know, family wise,
Yeah.
kuna mseana, kuna wase,
Yeah.
kuna wase wana thrive. But however, I would want, I think this is the platform for somebody who's doing well to counter what Ronnie and
Kimani.
what Kimani and Victor are saying.
Yeah.
Like, yo, this is what I'm doing. This is what's going on. You can thrive or whatever.
Yeah.
Because the challenges.
Yeah. No,
I get that.
Tena
There are
serious challenges.
serious challenges. And we're talking about serious challenges in terms of now healthcare.
Yeah.
Because I think that is the most important.
And that's a big one.
That is the biggest.
that we've not been able to talk about. And
Healthcare, bro.
People with families. Another very profound thing that Ronnie said is that the moment your kids are grown up here and they get married and they start having kids,
Things change.
things change. You're no longer moving.
You're a
You-
grandparent.
you're no longer moving
You're a
because
grandparent caretaker.
because now now your grandkids are here.
Right.
So that push
No,
you had
not
to,
necessarily,
that
but
push you had to move is no longer as strong as it once was. Because think about it, when your whole clan is here, think about it, you have maybe 4 kids, and then each of those 4 kids gets 2 kids.
But I think that's a discussion that we definitely would want to have with somebody who is in that phase.
Yes. And especially someone who has a
Period.
family.
Someone who is in that phase where
Yeah.
ni mtu wa huku na akona wajukuu.
Ndo hivyo sasa, yes. Mtu wako huku na kona
Because you
wajukuu,
can't
yes.
say, we're not going to say it's hard when you're not there.
No, it is difficult just knowing how
In what aspect?
in the aspect of how grandparents
grandparents.
how grandparents behave
They're at a very different level.
when
Because-
they see
Yeah,
their
but
grandkids.
think about it from this perspective, you know, when kids are going to school
yeah.
here,
Yeah.
Yes.
watoi Monday through Friday,
Yeah.
schedule ya shule is muhadhara.
Correct.
On top of that, weekends kuna activities, kuna
Yes.
piano,
Yeah.
kuna soccer, kuna whatever,
Yep.
right or wrong.
Right.
Correct.
So chances are the best time the grandparents can enjoy their grandkids here is summertime.
True, but then also
So-
what ends up happening, they become your support system, and they are some of the ones who will be doing these roundies when
They'll be
there's
the ones
they
taking
can't.
them for soccer.
They can,
And they're
but
the ones
it is
who'll be
not.
babysitting.
It is not.
it's not
It is
guaranteed,
not.
but
It is not necessarily so. And in fact, I will be confident in saying that
yes.
it is not. It is not because grandparents are going to wake up at 6 a.m.
No. I didn't say that they're waking up at 6 a.m. What I'm
The
saying
most
is
thing
that
you can do is you- the
they
most
are part
thing-
of the support system.
They are the support system. You know
And
what the
that
support system happens
Uh-huh,
on the
go ahead.
weekends.
No,
And
even
that-
if it's only the
even
weekends.
if it's on the weekends.
Kwani in Kenya, how
Which
many
is
times,
okay,
kwani in
but
Kenya,
guess
how many
what?
times are
that's
grandparents
enough
seeing their
for
kids?
that's enough for grandparents
That's
to
enough.
make to
Yeah,
make
but
that
it's
decision.
enough. But guess
Yeah.
what? In the weekends, on the weekends, they're going to pick up to drop off.
That's
then you
enough.
meet.
That's enough.
That is that's okay.
Yes, and that's enough
It's
for
2 hours.
grandparents.
Yeah.
That's enough. Where I think you're still
You
in
no
the
no no
romantic
no
phase.
no 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 no.
You are in the romantic
No,
phase.
no, no, no,
No,
no.
but
Grandparents,
you know what?
you don't understand grandparents,
He
boss.
said something. Again, you see, he
Huyu-
said,
lakini huyu- I know where he's coming from. Huyu.
No, hold
I know
on.
where he's coming
Hold
from.
on.
This one.
He said,
Yeah.
he said something which was what was interesting.
Yeah.
Was that we need to get someone who's a grandparent or grandparents, and then we hear from them.
Yes,
right?
we do.
Now, and we have a SME, by the way. We have a SME.
Uh-huh.
His mom.
Akuje hapa.
But other than that, but other
tukae
than
na hapa na madhe.
other than that, the reason why he is giving you his perspective and laughing at you is because he's seen the change in mom. Now Ajuku.
But you see, the thing
think
is,
about it.
I'm
Think
not
about
refusing
it.
that. But
think
you
about
see,
it. My
yes.
mom was never even used to live. She's never lived in the US.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But because of, like Wajuku, it's a whole different
I'm not refusing that.
Changed that.
it's
Gather.
a whole different
Hapa.
it's a whole different
Kuna kiti na mgoja. We, by the way, ma'am. Wait, madhe.
Wow.
Yes.
Tunakungoja.
But now here
But, yeah.
here is the other thing, and that's why like I'm loving these conversations is because whatever we are saying right now, because we don't have we've had people, we've of course had
Yes,
people,
but we don't have somebody from the other side.
yes, we don't have people from the other side, so on some of these things, we're just airing our opinions. And what I've come to learn is that sometimes opinions are good, but they're also the lowest form of knowledge, like whether we like it or not.
True.
And that's the reason why what Ronnie said, what Kimani said, what Victor said today is so profound, because it is not opinion. This is an actual experience.
It is an actual experience.
Yes.
That is, and you cannot take that away from them.
The value that we bring in is that we are coming in with our blind spots.
Yes.
And those blind spots are being thoroughly exposed. Like what Kimani said.
I would not say they're being exposed. We are coming with the blind spots, but they are being corrected.
They're being corrected. Yeah, maybe that's a better word.
Because we don't know,
Yeah.
so we are coming in with what we know, but we are being corrected. We are
Yeah.
being on a
But-
checklist. Yes.
But by exposed, I'm talking about the romantic side. The romantic side. So there's certain things that are being corrected. Now, one aspect that I had romanticism about is working from home. And clearly, remote work where shift starts, like if your company is in the East Coast, a shift is starting from 4 p.m.
Yes.
to 1 a.m.
Yes.
If it's in the West Coast, your shift is starting from 7 p.m. to 4 a.m.
Yes.
So there's nothing fun about this. Like whatever. Like I never
To
maybe.
you, it may not be fun.
No, I never paused to think about it. Now we have two people consecutively telling us that shift is not a good shift. It's one thing when you're in that phase where you just want sherehe every day. If you're out of that sherehe phase, then this kind of shift, because it's literally blocking you
Family
from
time,
integrating. That time you
evening.
could have spent integrating
Yeah.
and socializing. You're literally sitting behind a screen, like working. And then the other thing is that there's so many missed connections because of this like remote work schedule. You end up living in an American bubble in Kenya without you knowing it, because when other people are up and about, you're sleeping so that you can be fresh to work. You move to Kenya, but you're still living in the US mentally. So as a remote worker, it is now my opinion that I might be better off just staying in the US and regularly visiting Kenya. I think I might be better off, based on what Ronnie has told me, based on what Ruth, said last week, because that right there is, it's gonna, the very thing that took you to Kenya, you're gonna miss out.
Yani
Because-
umesema night shift si wewe.
No, mimi si mtu wa night shift. That's why I could never become a nurse
Okay.
or a doctor. Because night shift si yangu. And
Umesema
then-
you're not boarding.
Yeah, and then another thing before we go, one thing that I'd love us to talk about, and I'd love especially Ronnie and Victor and Kimbani to tell us, is the profile of people who are likely not to succeed in Kenya. A returnee. The profile of a returnee. Ukimwangalia, huyu hapa,
See, we know, sit one mic.
yeah,
Can I-
anakaa hata succeed.
Sit one mic. Tunajua.
Yeah,
I'll suspect this.
yeah.
Kama huna mapepa za kurudi.
Why do you say that?
Because okay, let me
Come
sorry,
on,
let,
Papa
no, no, no,
Zakudi,
no,
did you
no, no, no,
voluntarily
no, no,
go
no, no,
back?
wait, oh, no. Let me say it this way. Let me flip that. I take that back. Let me say it this way. I think, hypothetically speaking, is somebody who is gonna come back is somebody who has got papers.
Okay, so because he has a choice.
Exactly.
Okay,
But
of
somebody who doesn't have papers,
they have no choice. So
they
it's
have to make it work. And this is just hypothetical, by the way.
Yeah.
Msinikujie.
yeah.
Don't come for my don't at least you come for my neck and whatnot and sijui.
Well, if you don't have a choice.
No. But you don't have a choice. But again, it does not always happen that you will succeed even if you don't have a choice, because we've heard of stories.
We'll never know because
We'll
there.
because we've heard of stories where
Correct, yeah.
guys who have been taken back and they have fumbled. Then there are guys who have gone back, but they have made it. And I will gladly say, my brother is doing well for himself.
But it took a quick second, right?
No.
I mean, because what we always find with people who go back and it's not of your
Kwanza
own,
kurudishwa.
if it's not and
Ni
it's not of
kurudishwa.
your, hold on, and it's not of your own volition.
Okay, sawa.
They have a lot of trauma.
Yes.
Ni sijui ni trauma ya society, trauma tu ya kuconnect ama ile ya umerudi na zero. You know,
There's that. There's a lot. There are a lot of nuances.
Getting
there.
past that
There are a lot of
can
nuances.
really affect you moving forward.
Yeah.
So I also think there's remote workers who have a flexible schedule.
Yes.
Those ones can
Yeah.
succeed. Those ones can succeed. Those
Yes.
ones who have a rigid schedule are the ones who are going to have a hard time. So if you have a remote job that doesn't care about what time you go in and what time you go out, as long as you put in the
The
hours.
deliverables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not unless
Yeah,
you're not a person of going to hang out and whatever. Where kazi yako, it doesn't matter if you're focused on your work, meaning that it doesn't matter if the fact that you can if you start work at 4, you're there. After that, kazi in fact, even staying home for you is good. Hautaki kwenda nje, you'll succeed.
No, but think about it. You're hautaki kwenda nje, but you want to connect. That's a time to connect because everyone else at that time.
But you can connect over the weekend.
But the connection, like that we are talking about. Let's say like you're living in a household with
Other
with
people.
friends, with
Yes.
other people. So you're not connecting with these people.
Friends or family.
Whichever.
with family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unaona kama vile
Yeah.
Ruth, for example, with
With-
family.
You
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah,
Until weekend.
you can't connect with them, and then you
Until
see weekend. Not everyone will always be available for you on the weekend because people have also other things.
Like
But
you
people can make
you live-
adjustments.
They
But
are
no,
doing
wait.
Gather,
Hold on.
people
No,
can make adjustments.
That's true, but what we're trying to say is
Romance.
that okay, so you know
No, it's not.
okay,
Romance.
what Ali is trying to say, it's the COVID syndrome. That one of you're isolated, but you're with that person in the house.
Yeah, but you're isolated.
You're in isolation.
Yes.
And it's not because you have to be in isolation. You're forced to be in isolation because schedule yako ya kufanya job na yeye yake ya kulala hazidonjo.
The only
You
thing
get what
is,
I'm
the only
saying?
thing is,
They're not in Gary.
the only thing is, let's say for example, and I mean, you can break this down to a science, maybe whatever. But if your job requires you to be fully engaged for the 8 hours or 12 hours, for the 8 hours you're on the you're on call, that's different. But if it's a matter of you responding to something, that's different. I will give you an example. If you're in IT and IT support,
Yeah.
if all you have to do is you respond to an email or whatever, or sometimes you have to get on to troubleshoot something and then you log off and then you just wait until there's another situation, then yes.
So IT
You can
support unakaa tu unangoja. Is that the nature of the job? Like tuseme like out of your 8-hour shift, you're working only 2 hours. How does it work?
It depends. It's all it dependent on tickets that you get or an email that you get from the people that you need to support.
So when you don't get those support, what are you doing? You're just
You're just waiting for
you're
waiting for the email.
You're playing solitaire.
No, whatever. So if you're in Kenya, you're chilling.
Okay, so but okay, the remote workers, and then there's
Remote. It depends on even on the remote work.
So
because
there's
that's
also
another.
there's also people who go with entrepreneurship ambitions. I think the ones who succeed are the ones who start like from the ground of I do not know this and I'm gonna learn and build my local networks. Those ones have a potential of succeeding, but those ones who go with big ideas, I am coming with big money, I am the big man, and I'm coming with American ideas and I will succeed. Those are the ones who are less likely to succeed, in my opinion, just from what I've been hearing from the people who've actually gone back there are saying. And then people willing to adapt to systems back home, those ones also likely to succeed. But those who go back with solutions or with a savior mentality, those are the ones those are the ones who will have it rough.
The
at
best
some
thing,
point.
the best thing
Yeah.
is go home, learn the system, learn how to manage, learn to, and then adapt.
Yeah.
And then, once you know and have understood and have career, then you be like, because just don't go kimelembele.
Yeah.
Don't.
And you know another
Hapo
one, yeah.
utachomeka ile kwanza you they be umekuja kwanza Ali amekuja na $50,000.
That's very small money.
Boss, no, I'm just giving an example.
and it can be-
hiyo pesa itaenda.
It can be finished.
And then guess what? Once it's done, uko.
By the way, once it's done, the same people who are, like gassing you up are the same ones who will be laughing at you.
Deadly.
Yeah.
Deep.
Ujamali kuja na X amount of money.
Utajua ujui.
The other profile of person who is least likely to succeed, kama we ni mtu wa kufuata wasichana, like every other woman you see.
Boss, as soon as you said wasichana, it was a wrap.
Yes, in Kenya, mina kwambia, you will be character developed. Proper.
Boss, we know people.
I think you're being sexist.
No, you'll be character developed proper. This is I'm being
speaking for the other sex.
No. Me, I'm talking about, because this is usually guys.
Or if your mama who just looks at jamas,
young chaps, my young Turks.
Ben 10s.
Pretty boy.
Following Ben 10s.
Utajujui.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
it's both sides. It cuts both ways.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, because kuna
boss. Yeah. Stories that we know.
Okay,
and we leave it at that.
Okay, let me read a few quick comments here before we go. Of course, Akinyedo is saying Kamkunji are busting bubbles. Paul
We've got a caller.
Yeah. Unaona our callers wanakuja last minute. Let me read a few comments and then we'll go to the call.
So Korobia British.
Paul Dare anasema this is a very good discussion, especially for diasporans with a vision to return home.
Paul Dare kadhe.
And then Stephen Bati anasema Ali has been touched vizuri na hizo gems. And then Ron Mfuasi anasema and then Stephen Bati anasema the guy has said the truth. Your wife and kids, especially American, my wife told me wants to be close to the grandkids. Luis Muya anasema regardless of my comment up there, I'd still do it if the conditions are right. And then Doreen Florence anasema, but why are you moving back home if you're still going to work American time? And I agree with you.
Why not?
And then Steven Jejap anasema, Mika suggests 50-50, so bado you're not fully committed. And then Doreen anasema, Steven JJ, that time difference maze is crazy. And these are people who are talking from experience.
Yeah.
Most remote work involves a lot of meetings and a lot of collaborations via Teams.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to also just work your own hours.
True.
Yes. And then
it's a lot of
it depends on what you do.
Exactly.
If you're an app dev, you probably can get away with it.
On YouTube.
But it depends on what you do.
Mary alikuwa anasema, hey, it's honesty. And then Victor narudi anasema, I went back forced really because of the Russia-Ukraine war. But in Kenya, it wasn't good, to be honest. If I had a choice, I would have stayed in Russia. But we had to leave looking for a job Nidoma. And then Man Masa anasema, please note that where your treasure is, there will your heart also be. You want to start transitioning to Kenya, start transitioning your treasure, accounts, buying land, building, etc. So that's
the fair plan.
Okay, let's go to the caller. Just
final caller.
2 minutes. Final caller.
Yes.
Caller ndiye atatumalizia.
9182.
Welcome to the One Mic Show.
Tell us your name and where you're calling from, caller.
9182. Are you there?
Hello. Caller, can you hear us?
Caller, okay, hold on.
Okay.
Caller, are you there? 9182.
Okay, I think the caller.
Ni Victor from Toronto.
Victor.
Victor.
Okay, welcome back.
Welcome.
Victor, talk to us.
Tumalizie.
Kuna swali umeuliza hapo likasema lazima ni call mwana.
Okay.
Ati nani who will not succeed? Me using my personal experience when nilikuwa nasema hapo kwa chat. I think napenda stuff naongelea leo cause ni personal sana for me. Yani I think the person who will not succeed mwanzo kama una connection Kenya na una kazi hakuna haja kwenda. Honestly, there's no point. Not unless unaenda kurun business au kuna capital lingine wazimu. Unajua some of us na depend na mtu. Some of us we are very personally speaking, me I'm a very careeristic person. So sisi sema ati naweza tu wacha 9 to 5 na niingia ti business. Na that will like make me money and pay for bills and stuff. Some people do it, which is fine, yeah? We're all different. But nasema, for a careeristic person, say like me, come on a connection job, Kenya, Westmake. I couldn't believe, na, sijui kama nilisema, nilisomea Stratford.
Okay.
So nakumbuka after nimekaa like months bila kupata job nikarudi Strat wako na some kind of career office like basically like a placement office.
Yes.
So nikawaapelekea CV yangu nikawaambia mzee form ni gani sipati hata interview jo na niko na MBA kutoka Moscow. Akaniambia wakasema ati MBA ndio inachoma ati MBA tunafaa utoe ndio utapata interviews. So nauliza huyo tuseme hiring whatever consultant. Namuuliza what was the point of me going kusoma hii yote?
Yeah.
Kama narudi home na advice ni ati utoe masters umeweka hapo juu hiyo masters apparently ati na deter mtu kupata job kwa wase wako job Kenya wako like jela sama wanaogopa that utachukua position zao sijui nini. And I'm like then what's the point? Basi ningebaki tu Kenya. So ati nitoe masters yangu ndo nipate interviews. Like nikanta kwa nimeenda waste time kusoma masters.
True.
So like things like that kama una tu connection yenye unaongea na mtu ako like sijui wapi anakwambia kuja Vic job iko hapa interview hivi na uko ndani unajua or you're going back kama uko na kazi
sure thing.
Kama unaenda kutama noma.
Okay.
So for somebody going back mtu wa kupiga tamak based upon your experience na umerudi unasema anafaa kuwa na
usiweke masters
anafaa kuwa na how much savings ndio at least unaweza sema at least hata ukuwe na chapa ya kubaki for 2 years.
Usiweke resume, usiweke masters kwa resume.
He already told us that. Okay, how much money would you need to how much
cost of living? Me na wife tulikuwa na almost just without saying the specific but let's just say over 20 USD because tukiwa Russia we were doing a good job na tulikuwa tuna save.
Yes.
So it wasn't like we really needed the job, but then it was just like atuwezi when somebody was saying atuwezi kaa tu ati tuko honeymoon phase tunapanda Uber kila siku
yes
unajua you have to do something. Yeah. But I would say kuja na savings minimum 10k USD. As in anything less than that. Kenya ni place where you spend 30k. Yes.
No, lakini 10k USD hata mimi naona ni kidogo
itaisha hiyo.
And by the way, again, this is a conversation that we need like to so you're home then what are you looking at?
You need like a year.
There's the reality of taking unapeleka watoi sijui private school whatever alafu sasa kuna ile sasa
But you know one thing I have noted about all the romantic stories, you know, like the ones that you're seeing maybe on YouTube, Nanini, they're all mostly people who've just moved there.
Of course.
Hawajapiga your 5 years.
Hawajapiga 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 6 months kunao. Kunao wamepiga 6 months.
Lakini
but
kuna
a lot of the romantic stories, you know, like that, like the pattern that I've seen. And that's the reason why I like the fact that unsolicited, we got people who've, you know, like gone past that romantic phase and hit reality. Kama Victor anasema,
mimi nilipiga mwaka.
Ulipiga mwaka mzima.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So kuna 1 year,
nilipiga
kuna
mwaka,
watu wa
wife
8 months,
alipiga
6
6
months.
Akajitoa.
Okay.
But now Victor, I need to ask you this. Ulipiga mwaka na wife alipiga 6 months. But at what point did you collectively, as a unit, say, hapa ni kubaya, let's look for exit strategy out? Because you had savings. So is it that you guys had given up on giving Kenya a chance? Ama mulikuwa mmesema, vile inaenda, afadhali turudi tu pale tulikuwa?
I think, to be honest, tuliland, nakumbuka, 27th of June, 2022. Sasa sahau. And then, so of course, June, we're in Nairobi.
Yes.
And, ndio tumekaa, familia nini, like, we had not seen them since 2019. So, because of COVID, na hiyo vita ya Ukraine,
Yes.
So that, I think that first month of July, basically we did nothing. I took apply at a job. Tulikuwa tu tembea, masis, mabro, family and stuff. And then from August, ndo sasa tukaanza hizo application nini like jobs in LinkedIn, Indeed, whatever. Talking to our little networks. And this is the other thing. Once umetoka Kenya, kama si tulitoka 2019,
yes.
I guess any mistake ingine wasa na making, if you intend to come back, I think you need to keep your contracts wale wasemulikuwa nao. Usiwalenge. Ndio unaweza kuomba majuu la sawa. Say manzee wananiboda, wananiomba do nini. So those guys that you are trying to
sambaza M-Pesa ya 1000, nunua chupa, nunua kanyama.
Exactly. Try to attack your time. Manzee wanatulenga jo. Wasa wamemove on, watu wako na watoi, watu wako busy.
No,
nini contact.
Fair enough.
It's
so
crazy.
Sisi manze ilikuwa hard. So August application nothing. Alafu I guess ni ile mentality ya majuu, because unajua hapa, well, Europe is different but still it's more or less the same. And you unaweza apply job, let's say LinkedIn, and within like a month max or kienda sana mwezi mbili, we shall go through hizo interview processes and stuff. Let's say like if it's a role that you fit the deal in kila kitu, na uko ndani. Home hata ujui kama wali receive application. That's the problem. And it's not like here where you can call the hiring manager ama namtext LinkedIn. Wakenya wataki hizo story. Kwanza wakishaona LinkedIn yako waone umesoma majuu, wanasema umse
ni mtiaji huyu.
Uni ule.
So manze ilikuwa noma. So naweza sema at the end of October tulisema tu hii Westmate
ni kubaya.
Then tukaanza kutafuta.
So that's
visa
4 months.
US.
About 4 months.
Wewe akachomoka, and then mimi nikakuja Canada.
Okay.
4 months.
Hey, you didn't.
Kienda sana.
Hey, you didn't give it a chance. I think you saw the uliona tu hapa.
Uliona signs mapema.
Let's strike while the iron is hot and get out.
Asante sana.
Because pia I think background juu unajua sisi again finance background tuko CPA,
yes,
which is in Kenya is like a big deal.
Yes, it is.
Yes. Unajua uko na MBA and you can't even get like an interview. That's
yes. Yeah,
That's a problem.
for 3 months,
That's
there is no
crazy.
interview, and
You know-
you're doing the right thing. Yeah.
You know, Victor, another thing that I'm thinking about that maybe might be beyond all of us is that if there's any policymaker who's sitting somewhere in Kenya, this should be very worrying in the sense that
Agreed, Gada.
it's not like you're a CPAK. It's not like you just have a random diploma, ama nini,
Plus an MBA.
plus an MBA. You know, like, and you're struggling.
Na work experience pia before tutoke Kenya tulikuwa na work experience.
Work
Unajua kadhaa,
experience.
miaka 4 hivi under the belt.
Mpaka Madagascar.
Unajua?
Umefanya kazi mpaka Madagascar.
Auditing, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
like, this is so worrying. Yet every day we see a lot of unqualified people sitting on these panels being interviewed who understand nothing.
I'm sorry,
I remember recently when there was floods in Nairobi, there was someone who was being interviewed on her qualifications by Kina Sifuna, and she was in charge of disaster management, and she admitted that she's a theologian. You know, like that's her training. But amepatiwa job ya disaster management.
I'm sorry. Forget that. I'm sorry. Kasongo said he has created jobs because of zile manyumba najenga.
Affordable housing.
Yeah, he has created jobs for that. Wajengaji na plumbers and whatnot. But that is
yes, or plumbers and,
yeah. Lakini watu kama Victor and what
CPAK.
CPAK whatever.
And just getting the
Because
CPAK
remember
alone
the work pool is about 3 million Korea, the workforce. And most of these old guys are Oburu Odinga are not retiring.
They're not retiring. And then you know, there's so many universities, TVETs in Kenya, where all these kids are being trained, you know, like in different fields, and they're graduating kila siku. You know, like we are going to a very dangerous place. If we're a country full of all these educated people, and they all can't find a job. Victor, tumalizie
boss.
Na mimi naweza sema actually nikimaliza juu najua mnafunga 11. Mi naweza sema kitu moja again, just to answer the question honestly, kama una mtu wa kuconnect kazi Kenya ni tough. Again, giving personal experiences, me hata nikitoka undergrad home ni Siaya, buda na mother hawajuani ati wanaweza tu connect Nairobi hivi. Unajua, like, so me I think my only saving grace ilikuwa ni kwenda Strathmore. Nakumbuka vizuri nikimaliza undergrad, so Strathmore, hiyo placement office nilikuwa nasema,
yes,
this is the reason nirudi huko after nilitoka Russia. All you need to do kimaliza undergrad Strathmore, unawapelekea CV, wanakuweka in some kind of database, wanazirusha hapo Nairobi. The next thing you know, wamekuita job mahali.
Oh, nice.
So me, in a sense, nilikuwa na hiyo connection nikiwa undergrad, na niju nilienda Strath. So siku tama, honestly, nilimaliza undergrad December, by Feb nilikuwa job the following year. Unajua, the story of my wife is different, because wife akimaliza undergrad alitama kidogo, even though tulikuwa na Strath, but obviously still Kenya ni Kenya, so it took a while ndo apate job. Like nilihave ongea na one of my classmates wa Strathmore who had got a job through the same placement office. Nikamwambia aende haongea na hiring manager ya hiyo kampuni ndo wa hire wife. And that's how my wife got a job. And basically Kenya merit ni norma. Ni norma to merit, like ni norma.
This is very sad, but Victor, asante sana, you know, like for opening up, you know, like our eyes first to Canada and also to the situation back home, because 2022 is very recent.
It's just the other day.
Recent.
It's just the other day. Yeah. It's just the other day, ilikuwa time ya COVID.
And no, we can't even say it's because of COVID. It's just that's what it is.
That's what it is.
It's what it is.
Yeah.
It wasn't that's because of COVID.
Yeah.
Because even before COVID, it was still doing the same thing.
Now I'm understanding, you know, like when people back home see me with, for example, Sifuna or they see me with Joho, they come telling me nipatie tu, nipatie tu connect hata kama ni kuingia pale kuserve chai.
There we go.
So now I understand. I never used to understand. Like, okay, fine, me najua I met these people in the line of some of this work that we're doing. Joho, I've known him for a very long time. But now I understand. I think I never used
connect?
to quite...
It is just that.
Yeah.
It's just that is the pipeline.
Yeah, I was like, so then what's gonna happen?
They get a job.
Yeah, because they make a living. People, these are qualified people, but they're like, just give me a connection just to get somewhere around there. Yeah, so now,
So the door can be
Victor
opened.
may explain, I'm now starting to get an understanding. And these are some of the blind spots that we have. When we stay here, we take things for granted, and we don't understand that, having access to some of these politicians or big people is actually a lifeline.
It is.
For some people.
When it's not
huge-
supposed to be, but
It's
that's
not
a
supposed to
difference.
be,
That's
but
a
that's a
story.
reality.
Yeah, that's the
Huge
reality in Kenya.
Yeah.
In fact, it's a life-changing opportunity.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's yeah. So Victor, asante sana.
Ni noma
Yeah,
sana.
nikunoma.
So thanks again. I just wanted to answer that question that kama msee anarudi, najua kuna watu wanapanga kurudi and stuff, which is noble, but just to go kama umejipanga. Kuna mtu alisema hapo plan like ni 5 years and stuff. Kama una connection, kama ni job unaenda kutafuta, enda na job.
Ama uende tu
job
kuretire
itakuwa
na vitu zako unafanya.
We?
Yeah.
Asante sana Victor. Baraka tena, salimia wife na kila mtu, and happy good Friday, happy Easter.
nikikuja kutembelea bro ako hapo Richmond, Virginia, nitakuja drive hivyo nikuje.
Ukuje hapa, you're invited.
Kuja hapa kabla hata ufike kwa bro.
Hata kabla kwa bro.
Hapa ni closer.
Flight italanda hapa anyway.
Flight italanda hapa.
Italanda hapa, so wachana na bro. Bro anaweza kuja kuchukua hapa kwa studio.
Yes, atakuja kwa studio kukuona.
Na leta food kwanza
Tunakuja na yeye.
Okay.
Sawa.
Sawa. Haina
Tunakuja na yeye. Juu pia kwa la story.
Ala.
Ala. Okay, sawa.
Hey, we have to reach out. 9182.
Yeah.
Sawa kadhe. Asante
Okay,
sana
super.
brother.
Aya,
Okay.
asante.
Yeah.
Good night team.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Steven JJ anasema when they see your CV wanaogopa utachukua kazi yao.
Yep.
And then hapa Ron Mfuasi anasema that's a lot of gatekeeping in Kenya in the corporate workplace. If you've worked majuu with good qualifications, HR staff in Kenya get very insecure and trash your resume.
Yes.
And then Luis Muya anasema connections are key everywhere. There's two different types. The type to vouch for you as a professional connections, and the type that will literally influence the position in your favor. When we talk about connection in Kenya, we are talking about the latter. So
Kwanza huyo Luis Muya kwanza atuinvite huko Kentucky, twende tuchafue huko. Wherever he is, because he moved from anyway. Luis Muya, wewe tunangoja you invite. Na wahenga walinena kilicho na mwanzo hakina budi kuwa na mwisho, meli imetia nanga. We are about to wrap this puppy up. Happy Easter, happy Good Friday, and Omosh Fire.
Yes.
Tokaende kaze.
Santeni sana. Today's show took a momentum of its own.
Hata World Cup hata jabonga. But ni sawa. IEBC kaende.
World Cup. My experience trying to buy a World Cup ticket
goes to show what is important to most people.
yes,
Is
good
home.
vibes. Yeah.
Is home.
Right now,
Sasa hii ni watu.
He's subject. And you know something we didn't touch on. You know, people, there are also folks who want to move home because of their parents.
Exactamundo. And by the way,
that's a whole other demographic.
And those people who are moving back home, wacha tuseme, kuna wale ojuala onge. Kuna hiyo.
Bas, let's keep it moving. Asante sana. To our fans, thank you guys as usual. We'll be back next week.
Week after.
Week after.
Wait, it's the week after?
It's the week after, yeah.
Oh, okay. Week after.
Yeah, the 17th.
Yeah, 17th.
Oh, yeah.
The 17th, yeah, 17th. Is it 17th
Yeah,
or
there's
18th?
sorry, but
One of those.
Yeah, I forgot that there was a
Pay
an
attention. Pay attention when your co-host is talking. Nikki, man.
I'm sorry. This happens once in a blue moon. I get
Ali,
like four
get your
over
get
my
your boy.
eyes.
Ali, get your boy.
But yes, thank you guys. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Not next Friday, the Friday after. But of course, we'll keep posting the show to all our new fans. Thank you very much. YouTube has been on fire. We've had a lot of people on YouTube.
Thanks to
we welcome you, Kabisa algorithm.
Mr. CEO.
Algorithm.
Oh, sorry, SEO.
Yes,
Ali Badawi.
Yes, algorithm. Be safe, stay safe, enjoy the weather. Was Cherry Blossom Festival this weekend?
It was past weekend.
Yeah. Okay. So wale watu wanakuja DC nini, I think weather bado iko
it's still blossoming.
Iko temperamental.
Iko
kama Ali.
Yeah, it's still blossoming.
Bado iko poa, daytime at least.
Kama Ali.
You can walk around with a kashat if you're lucky, maybe even shorts. We're getting there. Summer inakuwa. Summer inakuwa. Stay safe. Enjoy your people. Hug them. And just know that we will be back in 2 weeks.
All right. Asante sana DJ Mosh Fire. First I want to thank Victor. I want to thank Ronnie. And I want to thank the Kimani. Yes.
Kimani, yeah.
Kimani is the one, wow. All of them spoke very well. Gave us different perspectives. But to me, Kimani yani aliongea kama... I felt like this was AI talking, he was so...
A coach.
Yeah, I mean, he was so on point with what he was saying, and he was so specific, and he was so candid and honest. And what I like about tonight's episode is that we've gotten hit by that reality that we were looking for. It really hit us today. So Ruth brought us, and opened up, and directed that this is what you'll possibly experience. And of course, with Ruth, she was there, she's still here, she's, but then here you had people who had moved there. Kama Kimani, moved there permanently. And I can't forget the honeymoon phase. We last for as long as what took you there
Your kitu, I don't think you're gonna let go.
Your kitu should be framed.
Kama ni dema likuchukua huko?
Yes.
Utajua ujui.
I know. Your kitu Kimani should be framed. In fact, maybe I can make money out of it. If I make money out of it, Kimani, I'll give you a percentage.
Itakuwa t-shirt ama.
Yeah. But
it could be.
Yes, but if it still holds, then the honeymoon will continue.
All things being equal.
So understand.
Yeah.
Like even when, and this gives you good perspective when you're listening to advice from people who are down on the ground, you want to try to find out, are they still in the honeymoon phase? The job that took them there, is it still, are they still working that job? Because if they're still working that job, they're still on that honeymoon phase.
Right.
We want someone who, the job that took them there, imeisha. And now let's look at the situation and see exactly where it is. But I think bottom line is to focus on what took you back home. I think also part of the problem is some people are going back home out of peer pressure because they are seeing other people doing it and they don't have a specific reason for doing it. They just feel like this is the thing that you're supposed to do after you've seen some sort of success in the US. This is just the next phase. So there's some people like Omosh said, who said they're going to take care of their aging parents, or even not necessarily take care of them. They just want to be there with them because it's been a while. It's been 20 years
since you last saw them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or even since you spent
justifiably
time with them.
Yeah.
So you have to focus. You have to stay focused on the reason. And then if you have children, your children, and I know we live in a selfish world nowadays, but I think it's fair to say that your children have to be some sort of priority in your life, ile just to be fair.
No,
because nowadays unajua kila mtu anaambiwa you gotta take care of yourself, don't let your kids hold you down. What are you talking about?
But your kids, you have to let them manage my challenges up to a certain age. Then you'll be like, okay, slowly by slowly, but you cannot.
Yeah. To me, it's one thing, once your kids have gone out to college, and you're in that phase where you want to experiment,
Then you can manage.
then you can do it. But when your kids are still dependent on you, they're still dependent not only financially, but they're dependent on your presence.
But Ali,
Yeah.
think about it from this perspective.
yeah,
Our parents let us go once we boarded that plane to come to university or college in Stato.
yes, but we were adults.
Yeah, we were.
Again,
We were adults.
when
Yeah.
our parents let us go, when
Yeah.
we boarded that plane, we could have been. We were 19.
Yes.
We were not 17 or
Yeah.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Tulikuwa tushafikisha hiyo age ya.
Yes.
We can get a passport. We can get an
Absolutely.
ID.
Yeah.
Then we were let go.
Then we were let go.
At that is it. It
Yes.
doesn't matter, but
It
at
doesn't
that
matter.
point, yes.
Yeah. So I think, like that's another thing, like with all these conversations, I'm also now asking myself the question, like if I'm planning to move to Kenya, like with a family, like why exactly am I doing it? It's now making me pause and ask that question. Is it because like it's just a good idea to be in Kenya? Is it because there's a certain value that I see towards being in Kenya? I know, like with so there's two groups that I'm going, and this might be a bit controversial, and I'll show you Maisha. There's two groups. There's Somalis who are Muslim, and then there's just Muslims who are not necessarily Somali. Here I'm talking about Kenya. With Somalis, they sometimes move their children back for disciplined reasons, and it's a mixed bag.
It's a mixed bag.
It's a mixed bag, like it may work, they may reform, or it may be the opposite side. Right now in Isli kuna hiyo issue ya nasikia hiyo gang culture ya UK ya Minneapolis inaanza kuingia huko, and part of it is these kids who are sent there for discipline purposes. Like I have like an aunt who runs a school in Eastlands near Omo, in an area called Nasra, where the school has a lot of like there's a lot of Somalis who live around the area, so naturally the school has a lot of Somalis, but then there are these Somalis now who come from parents in the US, and imefika point where they're like these
No
kids
chance.
they're becoming a negative influence on like the other kids here, and it's a theme that's around like a lot of the schools they're being taken to. So I think hiyo ni kitu that needs to be looked into. But now with the rest of us Muslims, we're always concerned about we are usually very concerned about access to Islamic education. I have to say the state of Maryland is now very advanced. Maryland and Virginia, very advanced but very expensive.
I'll say this.
Yeah.
When it comes to kids, and this thing has always resonated with me,
Yeah.
thanks to my uncle, my mom's older brother, Babakaro, mine Ngofu. He says, kids are just but sojourners. Ni wapita njia.
Yeah.
Watoi ni wapita njia.
They'll go.
Wanakuja wakienda.
Yeah.
And the example he gave was me. Wewe uko wapi? Uko America. Where is your mother in Kenya?
Yeah.
Are you still with her? No.
Yeah.
So watoi, no matter what.
Ni kama moshi.
Yes.
Watapita. And it's a few years.
Yes. It's just a few years, by the way.
And it's a few years.
And by the way, when you say a few years, we're talking about, forget G18. Wakifika teens hapo 13, 14, 15.
Yeah.
Boss.
They're already gone.
It's
You
a
see-
wrap.
You see, the critical years.
Take it from me.
The critical
I know.
years that I learned that it's very important for you to have contact with your children, very good contact with your children, from 6 to around your age 13.
Yes.
And at that age,
That's it.
You can potentially shape your kids.
Yes. No,
to be-
you will shape.
Yes, you will shape them
Yes.
to whatever direction you want to take them. And that's a reason, bad example, but that's a reason why people who recruit child soldiers, they like that age.
Yes.
Because that age, that's the age where you can turn, like a polite, a polite, very good child into a killing
killer.
machine.
Yes.
Yes. That's the reason why they like that. And that's something that people...
Watoto ni
should
wapita
take
njia.
advantage
So
of.
remember, wazazi, parents, the two of you are arguing, sijui child care, sijui case, sijui watoto, child support, whatever. those kids are gonna grow
Yes.
and they're gonna leave that stoop of yours.
Yes, kabisa, your time itapita. So again, thank you so much. Today we've gone a bit over time. And the one last thing is that this episode right here, it takes a lot of preparation to make these episodes. This was one of those episodes where, I'll be honest, where we were empty.
We were empty.
We were empty.
In fact, if anything, we just knew
Kibuyu ulikuja na nini?
Yeah, the kibuyu was empty.
Yeah.
Yes.
The kibuyu was empty. So
And look where empty got us.
yeah, so we want to thank Victor, we want to thank Ronnie, we want to thank Kimani.
Yes.
And all the people who are
The
contributing.
contributors.
Also on the
Chatting
comment, because
and
you
Chad,
guys,
Stevie,
Yes.
because guess
you
what?
guys made our show. After the last 2 episodes, they took so much out of us because they had a lot of preparation.
Yes.
So this week tulikuwa
Hata jobonga wa mambo ya World Cup.
yeah, we were even planning that the show might end
IEBC at
G10.
10:40.
Yeah.
Courtesy of Omosh.
Yes.
10:24.
Yeah. He was even setting appointments here of people he's going to meet at 10:45.
How?
Look at where we are.
How?
Yeah. But look at where we are. Na kwa hayo machache, yeyote ambaye anataka kunipigia simu, nambari yangu bado ni ile ni 1-800 mteule. Operator akishika simu, mwambie nataka kusema na mjukuu. Na akikuuliza ni mjukuu yupi, mkumbushe ni mjukuu yule wa Masai, because I'm Kenyan by blood, American by design, Masai by choice. Sichagui, sikagui na sibagui. Kwaherini.
Aiden, daddy loves you. Njeri, daddy loves you. Nimo, my bad girl, daddy loves you. Until next time, be
2
blessed.
weeks. Thank you. Have a good one.